the visions of our management to strengthen the research culture in our organization. And Dr. Nair has accepted our invitation for conducting this 3 days FTP on research methodologies and techniques. Minor mistakes which we are making, or which minor things which we don't know about the research, that will be elaborated during the session. And I feel that everybody you will enjoy and you will definitely take something positive from this particular workshop. And I'm damn sure that is going to change your views about the research. Now I will not waste much of my time, and I request Dr. Nair to take over the session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Patil. Mr. Siddharth, can we start the workshop, please?
Yes, sir. I will give few instructions to participants. Few instructions are there. You can just post your questions at the end of in between if you have any problems.
They can post the question. They can post the question in the chat box during the presentation. Also, I will take the questions after we take some breaks in between.
Yeah, yes. You can post it, and in case you have any problem, please post it in the chat box. Let's get started for what we believe a fascinating session. Thank you.
Thank you. Shall we start, Dr. Deepak?
Mr. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And again, I thank the management, especially Dr. Deepak Patil and Mr. Gajanan Selke for organizing this 3 days workshop. Actually, this was the actual workshop I was looking for, because most of the other institutions have did my workshop. At least 2 institutions have did my workshop for 2 days. But you will came to know that why I was looking for a workshop for 3 days. So this is an important platform for me also to elaborate more and to give you more confidence today. Okay. So let's take the name of the God that let's start the workshop and let's dive into the journey of research methodology. So before I start with the research methodology webinar, let me first of all start with some terminology, some of my introduction, and very important for all of you to know that I'm very open guy. So don't hesitate to ask any of your questions and post it on the YouTube channel and even on the chat also, those who are listening to me. And those who are not right now on the Zoom and who are listening to me on YouTube, so please post your questions of research methodology over there. Every question will be answered. I'm saying every question will be answered. Okay. So let us start with, first of all, my introduction as some of my collaborations and how you can collaborate with me. And then we will start with some brief introduction, some motivation and foundations of research. And today, the most important stress will be how to mentally prepare yourself and what are the technical lags that we find in terms of PhD. And after that, tomorrow, I have prepared special session for all of you in which I will be discussing each and every component of research paper, where actually we lag. And actually, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, even as an editor-in-chief, even as a guest editor, I'm saying you that editor-in-chiefs and the reviewers don't reject your paper. You tell them to reject your paper. So because some of these sections are laggy, and why the people complained that, sir, we have published our paper in transaction, we have published our so many SCA papers, even 10 SCA papers, but still my Google Scholar is not increasing to more than 400 to 600. Why, where I am lagging? Okay, so all these things and even how to write a chapter also will be discussed. And the most important discussion will be that how to choose a journal and some tools also. And even most important discussion will be how to write effective thesis. And even most discussion will be also on tools, methodologies, and many other stuff. So, okay. So don't worry, everything is taken care of, and I will go for a mix-based methodologies. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and take your pen as well as your paper to mark your notes. And some of the presentations after this webinar will be shared to Dr. Deepak Patil. And and you can all be in touch with him and the coordinator of this workshop, Mr. Ganajan. And we will be sharing your material as well as the websites that I will be opening for this presentation after this 3 days webinar. So thank you so much. Let's start the journey. Let me first of all share the screen with all of you. Mr. Siddharth, can you see my screen, please? Mr. Siddharth?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Thank you so much. So first of all, let us discuss what will be the introduction and agenda. I have already told you some of the agenda. So let me first of all dive with my introduction. So you can see on the left-hand side, this is my photograph of the last year Dev Day Da Nang. This is one of the best prestigious event of Vietnam. And last year I have demonstrated there a LoRaWAN as well as a sensor communications and IoT. And my lecture was given the best lecture award. And you can see over here the award that I'm holding for Outstanding Researcher Award. I'm the first professor and the first for India who has won this award because of my research activities in my university. Here is my photo on which you can see the mouse right now. You can see the me as presenting in Google I/O. This is one of the prestigious event in Vietnam from Google I/O. So I have presented there in the area for machine learning and Google machine learning kit. And this is my conference photo which I organized this year, ICIIT 2020, and you can search it on ACM Digital Library. All the papers have been indexed in ISI Web of Science Scopus. And next year I'm again planning this conference in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. All the papers will be indexed not only in ACM Digital Library, but all the papers will also go in the extended form in various SCI and SCI journals. I'm already in collaboration with 5 SCI journals, and by next year I'm expecting to get more than 10 collaborations with this conference, ICIIT. So it will be a brand name for ACM based conferences in Asia that you can join, and you can submit your research papers. And you can see over here, this is one of my invention that I've done. And this is an owl that I'm holding. This is having smart capabilities in terms of temperature, moisture detection, detecting the people in the room. And even you can control your smart home, modular kitchens with this owl. And even you can say you can control your Apple AirPods and even your Google smart home with this owl. So this is one of the best gadget that I've designed in the area for Internet of Things. So this is my brief, you can say, introduction to all of you. So I'm working as professor, researcher, and scientist in Graduate School, Jutan University. I'm a PhD in computer science in the area for sensor communication, swarm intelligence, and network simulation. 16 plus teaching years experience, as well as consultant in various IT organizations for cloud computing, penetration testing, cyber security, network security, and other types of implementations also. I'm specialized in WSN, managed swarm intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, cloud computing, big data, IoT, artificial intelligence, blockchain, smart cities, network simulation, and even I'm working on digital twinning also. I have published 425 research papers. So current on this date, as you can see, even today, I got my 2 acceptances in IEEE Access and 1 acceptance in transactions. So today I'm having 62 SCI papers that are going to be indexed and 50 plus articles in open source. So very soon I'm going to clear my 75 articles. That is going to be the highest score in Asia by me to be the first author to bypass 70 articles in the world of open source. Nobody in Asia is there. So 25 books, 75 plus international certifications from various IT joints, and 1460 plus citations. So today, if you can see, my citations have bypassed 1477. H-index of 20, I-index of 51, and recently with the latest JCR scores of various journals. So my impact factor is right now, as of June 4, right now, it is 103. That is the triple figure right now as a cumulative impact factor. 90 plus organization memberships, including senior member for IEEE and ACM distinguished speaker, and plus I'm also acting as editor-in-chief of my International Journal of Smart Vehicles and Smart Transportation. You are most welcome to contribute that papers, because next year we are planning to submit our journal into Scopus indexing. So with the grace of God, I'm expecting to get my journal, the fastest journal to be indexed into Scopus. So I'm associated with 500 conferences, including national and international, for program committee, technical chair, even the program committee chair, even the reviewer proceeding chair, and many other positions. I have delivered more than 200 invited talks in 8 countries, 50 plus keynotes, and 100 plus faculty development. And as of today, I'm going to bypass more than 175 by 10th of July. Certified drone pilot with 2 inventions, 3 patents, and 15 copyrights. And considering my teaching and research, I have been awarded 26 awards, including Young Scientist, Best Scientist, Distinguished Scientist, Outstanding Researcher Award, IST Best Teacher Award, even Indira Gandhi National Award for Excellence, Exemplary Educationist, Distinguished Faculty, and many other awards will be declared this year soon. So let us start the lecture first of all, because for research methodology, I believe that a teacher should also be a good researcher, and a good researcher is incomplete without having an effective teaching skills. But both the teaching and the research skills come with a complete knowledge, and the knowledge never stops. You can just complete your masters and PhDs, but you just completed some degrees, but you have not completed the complete knowledge. Knowledge, you can say that even the degree ends after the college or the schools, but the knowledge only ends when you end your life. So knowledge is very important. So the first motto for my life is knowledge for a better world. We are academicians, we are computer science people or mathematics people or physics people. We believe that the world is improving and the world is not the same as you can see from the last 10 years, that of today, and from the current last 10 years that will going to happen in the next 10 years. So you can say that we should always keep on updating ourselves. Consider when I was doing my MC and MTech, we used to study only 4 languages: the C, C++, Java, or sometimes we have studied C sharp, etc. But today we have to master many languages in terms of data science, machine learning, deep learning. So we have to improve our knowledge. And once we are improving the knowledge, we are creating a better world. So the second important motto, which is very important for me as a researcher as well as a scientist, and this should be an important motto for all of you. So keep yourself self-motivated. If you are stuck in some problem and no one is supporting you, because this is a fact of life. If you are in a problem, then nobody is going to support you. You are the first mentor, you are your first guide, you are your healer. So first of all, relax yourself. God wants you to learn many things, most important. So the next important motto for us is that because we are writing research papers, I'm going to declare many myths today. So don't be afraid of challenges and hardships. We as a researcher, we always believe that research publication is just like a rat race. So if you are the first one, you're going to become the most eminent personality. And if you become the second one or third one, no doubt you can write the good, effective research paper, but the clapping will only go to the first one. So always be ready to take hardships and challenges and try to keep solving the problems rather than to write the research paper. We always see that, especially from India, most of the papers are coming like of the same quality. Like if one person goes for the book of IoT, then the herd of people goes after the book of IoT. If one person goes towards the book of image processing, then sub-disciplines goes and goes. So we are just increasing the number, but we are not solving the hardships and challenges. So that is what we have to solve, and that is what you are here in order to understand about the research. So let me tell you, everybody, this is a myth that research methodology is only starting from the research paper and ending with some citations and improving towards the grants. No, research methodology actually starts with just an investigation of a problem, and it ends when we solve a particular problem by giving the world a ready-made architecture, a prototype, or a product. So let me tell you, in the world of research, everything starts from a problem and ends with a solution. So the ending of the solution can be the outcome called a paper. So don't consider writing the paper starts and ends. No, it is just a part of research. Okay, so there is a myth, everybody. Please clear those myths. And if you have any confusion or clarity you want, please, basic to basic question, please write in the chat box. I'm very happy to help you, all of you. So now let me give you some collaborations that how you can collaborate with me. If you are a student and you're looking for a PhD, and you are most welcome to join me as my student under PhD Computer Science. So I'm having 3 seats that are available in terms of cloud computing with machine learning, sensor communication, swarm intelligence, grid computing, blockchain, artificial intelligence, smart cities, 5G, you can name the area. But the most important thing is I look for a calibered person who is willing to research. So minimum first class masters with at least a CGPA score of 8 plus minimum. I'm not considering 7 and 6. We are considering minimum 8 plus with 5 Scoopus papers with or minimum 2 SCI papers with a strong skill in programming, Python and machine learning libraries are the must and do. Now, if you are a PhD person and you're looking for a postdoc opportunity, you are most welcome to join your postdoc with me. So we look for a good PhD, and we don't consider that whether you are a PhD from IIT, NIT is just a myth, everybody. So we only consider what quality and skills you have and what quality publications you have. Okay, so if you have a PhD, even with a private university, no need to worry. It is even considered as a PhD. PhD is PhD. So the most important thing is what is your problem and what are your skills in order to solve the problem. Because I'm not after the degrees and the branding of the institutes. I'm after that how you take a problem and how you solve a problem. That is what we are doing here in the world of research. So let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there is a myth that if you have a PhD or a degrees from IITs, NITs, you are considered at number 1. So this is a myth. So the most important myth that the industry looks for you is not even for your marks. That is why you can see in Google, Apple, Microsoft, people are even hired who are not even having the school degrees also. School even certificates also. So the most important thing is to hone your skills, improve the skills, and we need to solve your problems as soon as possible. So we look for a strong skill set in programming, willing to research 24/7, strong teaching and research proposal that I'm going to show you at the first line, that what we have to do in terms of writing that teaching and research proposal. So this is the advertisement of my university that you can see for postdoc fellowship. And if you are interested, do send your resume to me. I will be sharing my email to both of this Zoom functionality and even to the YouTube also. So don't need to worry. So research collaborations, you can organize special issues with me, edited books. I'm looking for 4 more opportunities because soon my more books with Springer, Elsevier and Wiley is launching. And if you want to collaborate research papers with me, you are most welcome on these areas. And even if you are interested for a project collaboration, me and my team is also working to start a good project on COVID, blockchain, and even smart cities. You are most welcome to join with me as a investigator or even as a technical consultant or a visiting scientist. You are most welcome for that. So how to apply for me? The first thing is you have to write a brief biodata with a cover letter, detailed resume, and please stress only on your SCI and SCI publications. After that, we can stress on Scoopus, but only stress on your Springer and ACM-based conferences. Don't stress more on IEEE as well as other international conferences. We only go for named and limited conferences. With strong teaching and research statement, I'm going to show you at the first line of defense that how you can start with your teaching and research statement. Minimum 10 publications, and we prefer only regular issues. So the most important thing, everybody, I'm not against of special issues, but the only thing that will bring you more credibility towards your research is to submit the papers in regular issues. I understand, everybody, I agree with you that this process is lengthy, this process takes time, but it's a credibility for your career. This is for you. The more credibility you have in your research, the high professional you will going to become, because in research, everything comes to you, but everything will come to you with a fruitful and even in double manner. Okay, that in the matter of next 2-3 days, you will be able to understand what I'm going to say to you. And the most important thing is research should be in your blood, and you should be willing to take up the challenges, hardships, solve the problems, and willing to work 24 hours a day. So I need not only a person who can do the hard work, a person who has the ability to think and even to take smart decisions in how to improve and optimize the problems. That is what I look for in a person. So now let us start the workshop by asking yourself, this is an important question for you to ask yourself now. So answer these questions, and I'm going to ask you some questions, and I agree that most of the answers will be yes only. So are you frustrated, depressed, and feeling low of getting rejections in top journals? Are you not getting good job promotions? You are assistant professor from last 7 to 8 years, but you are not able to fulfill the criteria for associate and professor, that you don't have a grant, or you have a student, but you don't have a proper Scopus and SCA publication records. You want to learn how to actually do the research, how to actually master a technique for writing research paper. You are a PhD student, you are searching for a topic and no one is guiding you. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you are a PhD student, so don't have any proper complete control over your guide. That guide is going to give you everything. He is a guide, he has already done his PhD. You are the person, be your first guide and then take his consultancy. Okay, so because he has already done his PhD, you are the person who has to complete the PhD. So please listen to this lecture very carefully. Especially I have designed one lecture today for only PhD students, how to handle your guide also. Very important. You need to have some international exposure. You want to publish in some top tier journals. Every day, even I'm getting lots of emails that, sir, we want to collaborate with you, but I only reply 1 out of 10 emails. I will also tell you how to write the email and how to be caliber into writing. Very important for all of you to understand. You are not aware of research jobs. You have a dream of a transaction paper or a nature paper with more than 5 impact factor. This is a dream for all of you, that even if you have more than 5 or up to 5 papers above 5+ impact factor, let me tell you, you have already done your job in your career. Already you are almost a complete professional. If you have 5 papers in 5+ impact factor, you are a calibered person and you have a good recognition. So other questions are, you want to publish a chapter in good publisher, like whether you can say Elsevier, Springer, everything. You need a good opportunity in doing research and want to get associated with a lab or a professor. And when I was talking to Dr. Deepak and even to Gajanan sir, I already told them that, sir, where we miss the grants, where we fit our collaborations is that people don't think that they should be associated with top people in the world. And that is where we miss in the grant. Today, I'm going to give you some elaborations that why your collaborations and MOUs are very important. What is the basic advantage of this MOU? Very important for you to understand. So after that, want to get your funded project with a minimum grant of $100,000. Very important. And do you have a dream to do your postdoc or associate professor abroad? So I think most of you will answer my questions as yes. So now let me welcome you to this workshop. This is what we will do in this lecture. So the most important thing, apart from doing research methodology, I will be also teaching you how to be an effective teacher. So my first tip and trick to all of you, so please take another paper and take another sheet and write how to be an effective teacher. This is my first tip. Before you start your lecture, first of all, kindly inform your students why you should understand this conceptual methodology, why we are going to study this concept, and how this concept is practically associated with the real time, so that students should understand that we are not sitting in the class just to make a term or just to do our MCS or MTechs. We should actually understand that how this concept will actually work for the real time. So this will how the teachers and students will have a good connection, and the students will become more active in your sessions. So that is important for you to understand. So now let us start with this lecture with a very hardship reality. So I want all of you to be don't write box, but ask yourself this question: who the person you are? And don't give wrong answer because you're going to answer yourself. Never tell a lie to yourself, please. So the first thing is, in this research world, we only consider 5 types of people. The first people are known as hyenas. They are many researchers who appear on their papers. Like, okay, sir, you take my name, please add my name to the paper and let the paper be floated. These people are called hyenas. Okay, and they even don't know which paper they are actually publishing. They just publish in any other field. Like even they can add their name to mathematics paper, to electronics paper. They are all hyenas. Bourgeois paper, they always lend their names to appear onto other researchers who want to improve their research paper, that their paper is not going ahead, that okay, no problem, I just take over your paper, add my name, and I will help you to publication. This is actually happening in the world of research papers, that almost 60% of the SCA papers are going like this thing. Swappers, like, okay, you do one paper, I do one paper, I add your name, you add my name, so you just write one paper but you will have 2 papers. Most of the dumping that is going on this area. Porters, they keep on writing hundreds of papers, whether it is predatory. That's why you will be surprised to note that India is now regarded as the hub of predatory journals. Even if you can say that many universities have even started their journals, and they start with very enthusiasm, but after, you can say, couple of months, when the paper starts coming less, they automatically transform themselves into a predatory journal, because actually they have the pressure of the management to keep the journal floating on. And actually the journal was very good, but after few period of time or a few months, the journal automatically started becoming, or automatically becomes, a predatory journal. And everybody will agree of me on this aspect. So we don't like a porter. So there are other category like sweepers, that okay, sir, we have not done the research for 2 years, we swapped our things, but now they start acting that they are the first people to write the topics. So these are the 5 main bogus people that actually improve, that actually exist in the world of research, and they keep on writing the papers and they do nothing else. So the most important category, the last category according to me, are the leaders. They actually have new ideas, they write papers and lead the research world. So you can calculate that these amount of people are just about 0.03% in the total research community. So ask yourself, everybody, do you want to become a leader, or do you want to be stuck into above these 5 people? The answer will come to you that it is better to become a leader than to become a Borgias or a swapper, or better to become a hyena. So very important. So according to me, these are the 7 pillars to be a effective researcher. So the first important aspect according to me for a researcher is that everything that the researcher will never stop learning. Even you are even, let me tell you, sometimes even I call my students in my room that let's practice something, let's do some brainstorming, and even some student who puts a point, even I learn from the student. So don't think that you are a professor, you know everything. Keep on learning. You are always a student. Computer science was different 10 years back, it is different today, it will be different after 5 years, or I can say even after 6 months. So we have to keep ourselves updated. So the first important thing for a researcher is your thinking and creativity. If you don't have the power of thinking, you think that this can be only like a sci-fi movie, or like a cartoon picture, or anything like like a creative scientific mind has thing, then you will not be a researcher. You always say that nothing is impossible. If you can see or you can visualize this in a particular thing, you can automatically see this in the reality. You can see, imagine that when the word started with the smartphone or the phones, mobile phone technology, you can see today where the smartphones are today. Imagine when computers started, even the one pen drive, even let me tell you, when I purchased my first pen drive of 8 MB, I purchased it for 1000 rupees. But you can say that in today 1000 rupees, you can say that you can buy an effectively 64 GB or maybe 128 gigabytes of pen drive. But even we can say that in the next 1 or 2 years, you can even buy a portable hard disk, or you can say a small SSD, even with 256 gigabytes in your pocket. So the things are changing. Okay, so have a creative thinking, be aware and be informed of everything. Gone were the days when you just have to learn one technology, that okay sir, I'm into computer science, but my mastery is cloud computing. No, but today if you are working in cloud computing, naturally you're working on big data, naturally you have to work on security, you have to work on blockchain, and you have to work on the front end and other technologies. Today paper don't go in SCI with only one specialization. It needs to be fused towards many technologies. Then you can find that I have designed a particular architecture or a model that can give me a creative thinking. Have strong networking, everybody. I'm going to tell you the network parameters. Keep an eye on the problems. Keep on discussing with the community. Have some Facebook groups. I will be also showing you some Facebook groups tomorrow that you should please subscribe and be the member. So always be the first to take the challenge. Have a strong command on English and communication skills, and please have ethics on emails, because I already emails come to me, I only reply 1 out of 10, and rest of the emails that okay sir, respected sir, I want to have collaboration with you. What are you saying? Who are you? Which institute you are belonging? What is your signature? What is your publication record? I don't know anything. How can I give you a collaboration? So have some manners in order to write an email to effective professor. Keep learning, and always think that you are a student in your field. And the most important, everybody, let me tell you, very important, this is my quotation, and I always have written this quotation even outside my office, even on the wall, and even today in my apartment also. Never retired. Because this is a quotation today I'm going to speak in front of you. I'm going to speak it 2 times. You can agree with me. If you are tired, you are retired. I'm saying again, if you are tired, you are retired. So the teachers retire, and army men can even retire, government people retire, but researchers and scientists, they never retire. Because we are the people who actually think, and we are the people who actually transform the world. So how can we retire? We don't retire. So now let me tell you the first important thing that we should start, what actually is meant by a research problem. Now, many people say anything can be research. We can start with any problem. Let's start with the papers. The first thing, everybody, please don't go on research papers. This is my first thing, all of you. Many people ask me, sir, first of all, what we should do, where we should find the problem. I said, what is your interest? And the person says, sir, my interest is cloud computing. And I ask them, what else? What do you know about cloud computing? Do you know what is happening? What is data center? What is virtualization? What is Hyper-V? And they say, no, sir, not much. So the first important thing is you should understand what is meant by a domain knowledge. And then after that, took that domain knowledge in order to find some research problem. If you don't have the domain knowledge that, okay, sir, I am working on cyber security. And if you don't know what is Kali Linux, what is actually meant by malware, what is meant by worm, how they actually work, how can you solve a particular problem in the world of cyber security? So the first important thing is have a domain knowledge and then try to have a research problem. Suppose you're working on web technologies and you don't know what is semantics, what is ontologies. How can you write a research paper? How can you find a problem that can be over towards web semantics or ontologies? So understand the problems first. So research problem can be any difficulty or an issue, or it is a gap in the knowledge that you have to address. So it can be either theoretically, either you have to solve with some mathematical problem or with some architecture or with some workbench, or either you can solve in the real time. So be it in your mind that research takes both the problems, what you want to focus and what type of interest and topic you want to clear. So the most important components that I've given in front of you are the individual with some difficulty. Actually, if you are in difficulty, naturally you are having some problem, and that problem needs to be solved. So if you have any problem in this world of your field, you are actually doing that problem, and that problem, to solve that problem, that is called a research problem. Second, what are the objectives to be attained? What is the environment of the problem that is existing? What is the course of action that you are possibly planning? What are the possible outcomes, and what will be the objectives of your study? So let me tell you, there are 2 types of objectives. What is the objectives of research? What is the objective of your study? What is objective of research? That how you will solve the problem. Now, what is the objective of study? How you will make yourself better in order to understand that problem and to leave that gap that, okay, sir, I have that domain knowledge. And now this is my objective, that I should understand these aspects of the problem in order to make myself comfortable to solve that research problem. Suppose if I'm going to solve a problem that, okay, sir, I have a research problem in order to find some antidote on ransomware. So what is my objective of study? In order to, first of all, understand what is ransomware, how the ransomware actually works, what is the methodology and the working style of ransomware. Then I should understand that, okay, what are the ransomwares that are making the problems, and then I should take that how I have the base of the objectives of my study to take a gap and to take a bridge, how I can solve that objectives into the research problem. So understand, everybody, if you want to solve a research problem, first of all, have the objectives of your study. Very important. And people say that, okay, sir, we want to start a PhD. Let's go and start with the research papers. No, read your domain knowledge first, or maintain the objectives of study, read that area more and more, and then find the study towards your problems. This is important. And that's why we fail. And that's why we become frustrated and depressed when we are doing the research. And that is a major problem, that people have the solution, but they are not able to express in the research paper. Sometimes even I'm saying openly, I'm very happy with the system model. I'm very happy with the results, but the presentation of the paper is giving me a great opportunity that, okay, sir, please reject the paper. So you have to be creative in presentation, because solving a problem is different thing. Making a presentation that how you solve the problem is different thing. That is where I am there in order to give you aspects for everything. So steps to define a research problem. The first of all is you have to select a problem. First of all, understand the subject, understand the creative problems, understand what that field is struggling, have discussion, have networkings, join the blogs, join the research groups on Facebook. There are lots of groups, everybody. So let me tell you today that Facebook and LinkedIn, it is not just to see the post of other people, just to give some comments or like the photos on Facebook or do some chat. Facebook is a very good platform if you do some research on research groups. There are lots of research groups equal, or I can say better than LinkedIn also. So LinkedIn can also be a good platform. And even I also follow some Instagram groups also. I will be sharing you on the third day which Instagram groups you should be following in order to improve your creativity in terms of technology. So more you read, the first thing is to select your problem. Then the second thing is to formulate, develop a suitable title, develop a model, have some investigation, understand the hypothesis, and understand the scope. So actually, if you're selecting a problem and formulating the problem, you are actually working on the objectives and introduction of your study. So that is why we can say that many people lag over there. So don't go to the research paper first. Don't jump over there. First of all, have a domain knowledge and then understand what is the area. Like suppose in cloud computing, now you understand what are the different areas, aspects that, okay, sir, this is my area. Now read that area, find that problems, and then go towards the papers. If you don't know what the field is, what the networking is, now let me tell you, understand everybody, that if you don't know how to make a cable, you don't know what actually is a router, how can you make a networking in the industry? How you will understand the OSI model? Okay, so have the knowledge of router first, have the knowledge of cable first, then go for the case studies. So that is where we have to select the problem, formulate a research problem, and then you should find the necessity that, okay, sir, this is the necessity. So this is called your literature view, that, okay, sir, now let me find what is the problem, how much the problems and the other researchers have done their work, because there is no problem in the world that is actually being done by other people. So you have to understand that how much work has already been done to keep a track, to formulate some objectives, that, okay, sir, these protocols are designed, this is the techniques that already been done, but this technique is facing this type of gap. So necessity for defining a problem is your literature review. And that is where we find the problems. Actually, why we do the literature review? In order to understand what is actually done and what needs to be done. So that is called your research gap. So let me tell you what is research gap. Very easy. What has been done and what is to be done. And if you can able to understand that, okay, sir, this has already been done, but this is having the problem. Let me improve this, but this is the thing that is missing. So that will be my objective. So if you improve something and you add something, this is actually your research objective. That is your PhD and that is your MTech. So I again repeat, research gap is what is being done and what is to be done in order to have a bridge between these two things. So please note it down. So now after that, you have to master the technique. And let me tell you, the technique could be your method. I will be showing you one presentation after this. What is the difference between methodology and method? So how you will solve the problem that, okay, sir, I will go towards real time. I will use MATLAB. I will use simulation. So let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not against of MATLAB. I'm not against of NS2. But let me tell you, if you really want to understand research, MATLAB and simulation environment should be a part of it. So this is only going to provide you a testing environment, but they already have a boundary. But real-time impact, what is the real-time result? That is totally different. So try to find some problems and try to find some solutions in the terms of, you can say, real time. Some people say, sir, we are working on cloud computing on Cloud SIM. I said, why you are working on Cloud SIM? If you have Amazon, so give them $70 or give them $100 at least for 2 months, and you can buy and you can find the problem over there. Give them 6,000. If you are ready to do the research that, okay, sir, we have done the work on Cloud SIM, but if you say that, sir, I have done the work on Amazon Cloud, so I will be more happy with you. So this is where we have to work in real time. And the few rules should be that what are the technical terms that are need to be defined, what assumptions you have, what is the criteria, and what is your scope of investigation. I will be discussing everything. So that's actually how you start the research, you find the problem, you solve a particular problem. So now this is most important, and the people forget about this. The skills to become a good researcher and a scientist. Very, very important. And you will all say that, sir, why we need this? Everybody can be a researcher. But I always say that anybody can become a PhD. But according to me, even if there are lots of PhDs, I'm saying openly, excuse me for my language, but I have not seen even 5 or 10% of the people who have actually got the PhD personality, I can say. 5 to 10%, I can say, even less than that. Mr. Siddharth? Mr. Siddharth, are you listening me? Mr. Siddharth?
Yes, sir, I'm listening. Please tell me. Deepak here.
Sir, can you see this? Who is this person who is doing this type of activity? Kindly, please, kindly tell the person if he has a problem, please go to YouTube. But over here, please don't disturb me.
Okay, sir.
We should maintain that a person is discussing the topic, so he has no right to disturb the other people.
Absolutely, sir.
And if he's creating a problem, you can remove him from the group right now. Thank you.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Thank you. So the first important thing, that is the skills that we should master to become a scientist and a researcher. Most important. The first thing is be humble. So if you're making yourself to learn, if you want to learn something, please be humble. And second most important thing that the people say that, sir, we gave you the paper, but you have written so many comments that how we can do that. So let me tell you, if you are not ready to do, please leave. You have come to me. I have not gone to you. So please be open to criticism, because nobody is your enemy. If you are having a good friend, he will be guiding you. So please be open to criticism, that what is good in your paper and what is bad in your paper. And he is not your enemy. He's going to improve your skills. The second thing, build your social network. If your social network is not strong, if your networking is not good, if you're not active on ResearchGate, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I published the paper, main paper later on LinkedIn and even on ResearchGate, but I even go for the early access because I want that community should understand my papers. So more you put your papers on ResearchGate, more you're open to collaborate with the community, more you are keeping an eye on Scholar, everything. So you are building a good social network and collaborations will come to you. Okay, so there are two things, that people come to you or you go to the people. But the most important thing is you should be having a strong base ground in your hands. So the work hard and work smart. Most important is what is working hard. The most important thing is how you work hard. That the most important thing that we should understand the problem and how you work smart with the help of tools that we will be discussing tomorrow. So let me tell you, gone were the time when you have to go for the journals. You only have Google as a search engine. But today you can do work hard towards your understanding the research gap. That is called working hard. But how to make it smart? It is with the research tools. So I will be telling lots of tools tomorrow, and I will be taking 1 hour session, especially for the websites and other things that you should understand. So have the clear goals and have proper organization and develop a good research plan. Never go empty-handed. So the most important thing is set your goals, set your achievements, and please monitor your activities in a proper manner. Very important. And please step out from your comfort zone. No, nothing comes free in this life. And if you want to collaborate, you have to prove yourself for the first 2-3 years, even after your PhD, for first 2 years, that okay, this is my PhD, this is my credibility. Now I'm actually ready to go to the next level. Many people ask me that, sir, what are the skills that you look for the postdoc? And I say one thing: what is your strong community structure and how quickly you solve the problem? Because I want that person who I give a problem at least today, and he must give me some solution after at least 5 to 10 hours, or maybe after 2 days. That, sir, what exactly is the baseline and how we can start working on that. So how better you are, how work smartly you are actually the person that is actually needed by other people. Okay, so you value yourself and the people will value you. And the most important thing is, people always forget this, that to please have good writing skills. Many times even we see the paper also, that sometimes in the figure spelling is wrong, sometimes even the abbreviations are not elaborative, sometimes in the headings even some spelling mistakes are there. So please read English magazines, read the blogs, watch YouTube channels more and more. So more you are learning English, more you are practicing English, it is better to improve the communication skills. Okay, so don't worry that you are from like a local language board or you don't have the English environment. The only thing is you have to create an environment for you, because you have to become popular, so you have to design the things like this. So the most important thing is, now let us start with the journey. It doesn't matter where you start today. I agree that most of you want to learn research papers, so let the journey begin. So the most important thing is we should start. So let's start the journey now. Okay. Now, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, in order to, I have got lots of requests of the people that, sir, please tell us what is actually meant by teaching and research statement and how we can prepare the cover letters. Very important for you to understand. Now, even I would like to request that those deans and those HR people, or those people who are actually into the management decisions of their institute, please, whenever you want to hire some professional, or whether you want to hire an assistant professor or associate professor or even a professor level job, please tell that not only resume we require, the person should also give you a teaching statement, and the person should also be submitting the research statement, because teaching and research statement are actually the presentation of your previous work, what is your current work, and what is your future plans. Only with these two things, let me tell you, resume is just your achievements that can be understood. Okay, because when you come in the institute, you are already having some basic qualifications, that is okay. But if you want to because if you want to hire a correct person in your university or your institute, it is very important to understand what he has done, what he is doing, and what is his plan of future, how visionary he is. Okay, so if you are hiring a person without a vision, let me tell you, you hire a person, he will just be a teacher. But today the institutes, and if you want to make your institute to come better in NIRF ranking, or you want to improve into the world QS ranking or the Asia QS ranking, you need not only professors, you need a proper visionary person in your life. So please make it sure that teaching and research statement are actually understanding what visionary and how better is the thinking of the person in order to be better fit for the teaching as well as research for your university. So let me tell you, in order to perform the academic job search, there are 4 types of jobs today. The first thing is called postdoc. So postdoc is not a job. It is basically an association. It is basically a joint venture of you with a particular professor. And let me tell you what is actually a postdoc. Postdoc is not any university degree or other thing. It is a myth actually. Postdoc is what that a person is having a lab. Like suppose one person is having its own artificial intelligence lab, and he has published a grant, and he has got a grant to his lab that to solve a particular problem in the real time, because grants are only given to solve a particular problem. So in order to become an assistant, or and that person wants to hone some skills of scientific quality, that person can advertise that, okay, be my fellow and please be there in the university in order to assist me to a particular problem. So as a postdoc fellow, you will be only working in a lab with a particular professor in order to solve a particular problem or to be in a part of a particular project. So if you really want to understand postdoc problem, now So in order to get yourself postdoc, so please be in touch on LinkedIn and to academia.edu or to ResearchGate, where professors advertise. Like even I have advertised in the introduction 5 minutes back that actually I'm working on these areas and I'm looking for a postdoc with me. So you will be working with me on a particular problem, and once that problem is completed or a grant project is completed, your fellowship is completed. So postdoc is just to improve or mentor your teaching as well as research skills. So the second thing is what we can say, the visiting faculty or a seasonal faculty. The third thing is called tenure track. Many people don't know what is tenure track. Tenure track is called as a confirmed appointment by university. Like we say a permanent job in India, we say it's a tenure track. So your tenure track can be either for 2 years or maybe as a contract base, or can be a confirmed track. And the last but not the least, you can become a scientific consultant and you can even start your own company as a startup. Okay, so these are the four main positions that actually in the word looks like. And this is important for your institute, that whenever you advertise an institutional position, please hire some specializations also. Because if you see ResearchGate network, if a person wants to hire a particular department, they actually hire the person that he should be master on software engineering or cyber physical systems or system simulation with robotics or with control towards these subjects. So have a specialist person with you that can hone your skills, because gone were the days when we only have MTech computer engineering or BTech or MCA programs. Today every institute wants to become an industry ready institute. For that you have to improve your programs with specialization to big data, data science, machine learning, deep learning, robotics, automation. So all these type of latest courses require demanding professors, demanding creativity skills. So for that we need to advertise the jobs professionally and in a careful manner. So where can I find my job postings and opportunities? So let me tell you, these are the main areas that I'm going to give you. Academicpositions.com, conferences, very important. And I'm not talking of those conferences where every institute just go to Springer, give a proposal that, okay, sir, let us take this conference, or they have a local conference or any webinar. No, I'm talking of at least some Springer good tier conferences or IEEE A-star conferences. You must go there, build a network, and please try to have at least one visit outside of the country, whichever country you're listening to me. So please have at least one visit every year outside your country and try to have good collaborations and good connectivity with the people there. Unless you don't go and meet them personally, you don't have the connectivity. This I have observed with my experience. Meeting a person on Skype is different thing. Meeting a person physically, it is different thing. It will give you different platforms. ResearchGate network, very important. So if you don't have an account on ResearchGate, please make it now. I will be telling you some websites tomorrow where you should make your accounts tomorrow. Very important, because tomorrow the most important stress will be towards your tools and how you can become a smart researcher. Tomorrow it will be the main criteria over there. So the next thing, that is ACM Communication Magazine. If you are a member of ACM, so please become a member of ACM and IEEE. I will be also telling you which memberships you should take and important for your connectivity. So ACM Communication Magazine is free of cost, so you can download that magazine, and every month it is coming, so you can improve your skills with that. Strong links with your networks, especially LinkedIn, Facebook, and even I will be telling you some websites like Sci Profiles. All other things I will be telling you tomorrow. Recognition by a strong publication. Let me tell you, today where I am, it is only because of my publication record. Even people have gone with strong collaborations with me because of my publications. And the most important thing is active member on social media, whether it is Instagram, whether it is LinkedIn, everything is very important. You should be very active. Academia.edu, it is equally important. And the last but not the least, LinkedIn, very important. So in short, the job search is talk to your network, activate your connections, contact your references easily, collect your documents. What are the documents? You need to have the proper cover letter. You need to organize your CV. You need to organize your teaching statement, your research statement, as well as letter from the references. These are the 5 most important things that are required for a good job today. Subscribe to the databases, attend the meetings and conferences. And the most important thing is network, network, and network. Nurture your connections. So what is often requested? The general information is CVs, cover letter, and letter of recommendation. This is the general information. And after that, I request, because in India, there is not a tradition by many institutions that they can hire the people with teaching and research statement. So if Sandeep Institute is listening to me, they can start this as the first factor in their area, that they always take research and teaching statement whenever they want to hire any associate or full professor. So if you are not doing and you're listening to me, please add this as a formal process in your area. So what is teaching information? What philosophy you have? What is your effectiveness? How you prepare your academic curriculums? How you improve your teaching? And how you bridge the gap between the student as well as between you? How you come close to your students and how the students can make you as a good mentor. This is very important for the institute to understand. And research information, what actually you have worked, what are you current doing, and what is your vision for research, so that the institute can even improve that, okay, this is the person and this is the area that we can fill for the grant, and this is the right person for the right job for our institute. So in terms of cover letter, I will be showing you the cover letter process also. 1 to 2 pages maximum. We have the 4 parts: opening, teaching, research, and closing paragraph. I will be telling you with example. And the most important thing is you can write your exceptional experience or industry experience, your exceptional experience in terms of your consultancy as well as your teaching experience. Most important. So in cover letter, the most important thing is what is the position, how you are applying about the position, how you came to know. Okay, whether you have the link. In the foreign universities, the connections as well as your internal references matter the most. I know about it. It matters the most. Motivation for applying for the job. What is your CV? What other things that is important for you to understand? And after that, you must have a proper cover letter, what according to your CV, what according to be brief, that is your confidence that, okay, this is my special skills, that, okay, I'm the ACM distinguished speaker, I am having these type of papers, I'm having this much of books, and recently I have published this paper in this much of impact. What is actually in your specialized skills? And then you should describe yourself as a teacher, what exceptional vision you have, and how you improve your teaching, and what is your teaching experience, with especially with your accomplishment and desirability. And then connect with the department vision, that, okay, sir, if you hire me, how that department vision and mission is closely related to you. Because in the future, when you're going for NBA and NAC accreditations, the only thing is that the person should only come in parallel to your vision and mission. This many people don't miss in their hiring, that what is their mission and vision and mission and objectives, whether it is at par with their institute or not, how that person is correlating himself with the department vision. And that's why you can say that he is a fit for his job. What is your previous experience and what is the valuation that you can highlight? So the most important towards cover letter in terms of research statement, what is your goal and what is the restatement that you're looking for, that what exceptional skills you're looking from the institute, that how you can say that institute can also be a good platform for you. And as you can see, in terms of general criteria, the introduction, I will be giving this presentation to Dr. Deepak after that. So don't worry, just write my important points, because why? Presentation will only give you the information, but what I'm speaking, it is speaking. So please maintain that. And your YouTube video is already recording, so you can download that video and you can listen to that video again and again. So there is no need to worry. Everything is in front of you. So please have your own notes ready. Body paragraphs, and the most important thing is the conclusion. So if you have a proper cover letter, see this cover letter which I have designed for you. You can see over here, dear manager, I'm applying for this position and I have learned from this position from this person, and currently what you are doing, and I hope that how you can say that your vision and mission is actually related to the department. So understand that department and read that university department very carefully. So what is your experience and what exceptional skills you have done in your experience, and how your professional skills and in terms of research skills are there. So you can say this is your brief introduction, this is your teaching skill, this is your research skill. And after that, please demonstrate yourself that how you enjoy your teaching with creative problem solving skills, and how you can think as an opportunity can be a great platform for you. So this is your cover letter, actually is the letter that we look in order to find a good job in a prestigious university. Let me tell you everybody that even when we make mistake during the submission, now this is important for you to understand right now. You know that 70% people, 70% papers are just rejected by editor-in-chief. Why? What is the chief reason? In 70% papers, why they're rejected, out of that 90% is the reason is that the people don't write the covering letter for the paper, that what exactly is the paper, why you think that the paper is matching the scope of the journal, and what is the personal skill that you have, what is the objective, and what is the problem that you have solved, and how the problem is solved as compared to existing research. So if you don't write the cover letter, the editor-in-chief will not read the paper. Okay, so please write the cover letter even when you submit your research paper. Please note it down, very important. So important tip is illustrate that you are a unique person. Teaching statement. Now let us talk of teaching statement, student evaluations, letter of recommendation, what is your previous experience, and the most important thing is what is your philosophy of teaching, what is your quality, how you bridge the gap between you and the teacher and the students. Now let me tell you, what is my thinking is that when I start teaching, the first teaching step that I do, if you are ready to understand my teaching philosophy, because I can give you in next 1 minute, I can tell you how I actually teach. I divide the board in three aspects, because if you even see, I can even share my photograph with Dr. Deepak Patil of some of my teaching lectures. You can just see the board, how I teach software engineering, network security, or even artificial intelligence. These are my three subjects right now. I first of all divide the board in the left hand side, that what exactly is the teaching that we are going to do today and what is the outcome of the teaching lecture. In the middle board, I'm going to give you the basic key points that I'm going to discuss and what are the key points that you should understand in order to have a key notes towards a lecture, so that if you go home and you just mature yourself, if you have a weekend, please write these important key points so that you should understand what is happening. So if you are a quick learner, you don't have the time to open your notes or your books, you have my key points in the middle of the lecture, and if you understand my key points, even if the question comes over there, you are most ready to actually go over there. So the last which I put over there is only with the tables, the diagrams, and the illustrations that I do. So these are the three main sectors that I do my teaching. And the most important thing in the class, first of all, I discuss that what is we have done yesterday, what is the outcome, and how that lecture will be related to this lecture. And after this lecture, what will be the outcomes of this, and how the today's lecture will be actually related to the real time. So more you give examples, and even I put a short line with the first division of the last section, that what are the examples that we can do in the terms of real time. So if you divide this board into these four sections, let me tell you, you are actually giving the student a strong platform, that how you demonstrate and how your philosophy is actually making the student to learn your group, to learn your lecture, and to be the part of your group. So that's how I teach in my class. So if you are ready, I can, if Dr. Deepak is listening to me, I can give you another lecture after this workshop. I can plan that how to become an effective teacher and how to actually hone your skills in order to frame a teaching philosophy. I can do that, but depends on Dr. Deepak.
It will be great, sir. It will be great. We are
Thank you,
privileged to host that one.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Because actually, I'm looking for an institute who can hone my this lecture, that how to be an effective teacher,
Yes,
how
sir.
to become a creative teacher. This is important for us to understand.
Sure,
So in
sir, sure.
So in terms of teaching statement, you should understand how narrative you are, okay, how you actually communicate, what is your methodology of teaching. So that is why I'm saying everybody that if you interview a particular person, first of all, understand that person, that how actually the person is teaching the particular skill. Okay, so don't ask the person that, okay, come and give the lecture. He can be ready for 5 to 10 minutes. He will come with a particular skill, but we should understand what is his philosophy first of all. Then what is the purpose, how you conceptualize the idea. Okay, how you go for the promotions, what are the awards for your teaching, and how you improve your clarity. Now suppose if the student tell me, sir, I do even in some lectures I can find that student is having some problem in some aspect. I can understand with the student, but let me tell you how I do that. I just correlate with some video of YouTube, that okay, let's see this video first. Now let me tell you, if I'm giving them a lecture of cloud computing, I tell them, okay, let's have a video of data center first of all. What is data center? Now you are ready. Now let's understand what exactly is a data center. So it is very important for the teacher to first of all mentally prepare a student, and then he should start teaching in the class. Okay, so very important, understand teaching first. Teaching is not a science, teaching is an art. To maintain a gap between how you reflect the students, your conceptual methodology, and the students say, sir, actually we now able to understand, and now we can just read the conceptual methodology with the book just to write the paper, but your lecture will work with us. So main thing, everybody, this is a myth, everybody, that as a teacher, everybody can learn from the books everything, because the student will only learn the books and he will go for the examination. But your lecture, but what is the teacher? What is a lecture? Lecture should be to improve their skills, and how he should have the problem solving skills, that if a question comes like a tricky question, how he use your lecture in order to solve that particular question. So that is so the lecture should be like a mentorship lecture. Okay, and to make the concept understood, so that when he hone his skills with the book, he can feel comfortable with understanding the conceptual methodology. So that is what I philosophy as a teacher, I believe in this philosophy. So this is the consideration. You can see how the students you believe that they can be best by. I believe the role of the teacher, what is your responsibilities, what is your knowledge, critical skills, and the most important thing is psychological skills. How you think that why you why you are the better teacher in your class, how you can improve the creativity skills of the student, how you can make the students think. Now let me tell you, I will just take 1 minute. In Vietnam we have the you can say the evaluations of a teacher out of 6 points, and I'm very happy to announce you that out of 6 I'm at 5.77, which is one of the highest scores in Vietnam. I'm one of that teacher. So I'm the #1 highest scorer in my university in teaching. So in terms of consideration, you should understand the philosophy, how to access the student learning, that are they able to solve the problem. Now, let me tell you, everybody can make, and let me tell you, as a teacher, I just explain them the conceptual methodology and I explain them how this concept can be applied. But when I ask them the questions, it will be a case study question. I give them the paper, I give them the assignments only with case study. So don't give them the question with descriptions. Give them a question where they can think and they can apply your lecture in order to hone their skills. Then they can say that, okay, they're attentive in the lecture. Okay, they know the internet and how they mix your lecture with the internet, and they can solve the particular problem. And then you can say that you are an effective teacher. So how diverse you are in the classroom, very important. This is called inclusive learning. So rest depends on Dr. Deepak, how we can quickly go for this lecture. But I want this lecture to be done soon in this university, in this institute of yours.
Yes, sir. So, I'll take your consent and we'll arrange.
Yeah, sure. So the important tip is always concentrate on illustrations. So let me tell you, as a teacher, as a philosopher, because this is your teaching philosophy lecture right now. So as a teacher, please focus more on examples. Okay, because when I'm going towards, because let me tell you, when I'm teaching data structures, if I'm teaching circular queue, I'm telling them, okay, what is Winamp? Winamp, if you see the playlist, this is actually called a circular queue. If I'm teaching stacks, where actually it is there in the Windows, how you actually go for like a task manager. When I'm teaching operating system, how the client will come to you, how you will came to know that what are its requirements. That is how I do in the terms of software engineering. So that's how you can take more illustrations toward examples, because if you take more examples, the concept, you're already winning the student with 60%. That is the most important technique to win the students in your class. So this is what important I can say, that if you want to win the students with the examples, you have to be informed of your lecture. So let me tell you, if you're preparing a presentation of the lecture, I don't say that you prepare a boring lecture, but if you are preparing a lecture without any real-time example, that where the concept is actually happening, you are not doing you are not doing creativity, and you are not doing proper work in your teaching skills. So have illustrations toward examples, that how you will teach the concept in the real time. This is your philosophy. That is your psychological skill. So consideration is that how you cite your resources and how are the research areas you are collaborating with teaching. So teaching will actually give you a birth to become a researcher. So let me tell you, even I have not started publishing papers in the first year or second year of my teaching. I started publishing the papers after second year of my teaching, where I actually started learning what are the examples, what are the problems, and then I was starting to do the projects, and then I started writing the papers. So teaching actually gives the birth to a researcher. So that's why we say that it is a philosophy to state the statements towards becoming a researcher. So keep it brief, everybody. Don't make empty statements. Don't portray your students. Don't reproduce your CV. But only thing is how creative you are, what exactly you do in your classroom, how exactly you teach. This is important for teaching statement. So never stretch and hide the truth, and never be too honest. I don't say that be too honest in your class. So be self-regulated and don't shoot yourself. And the useful advice is, it is just basically, what is teaching statement? It is basically your performance, how you actually deliver your content and how symbolic meaning you are there. So how you can say that, sir, I have done a good job in teaching, how my skills are actually getting better and better. Anybody can teach in the world, everybody, but effective teacher can teach with illustrations with real time. It is very difficult to teach with real time and examples and illustrations. That is the most important creativity task that a teacher can do. So please teach like this. Now, why the teaching statements are challenging? Let me tell you, the audience is different. Every year I get new students. Sometimes I get international students. Sometimes I'm teaching research. Sometimes I'm teaching software engineering, IoT. I'm teaching different things because every subject is different. Every subject demands everything. So let me tell you, when I'm teaching software engineering, I'm teaching more towards the problems. If I'm teaching operating system, I'm more towards the practical whereabouts at how we actually use Windows operating system or Linux. When I'm teaching artificial intelligence, I'm more towards the creative thinking and the visualization of the future. When I'm teaching machine learning, I'm more towards the problems that I'm giving to the students. I'm challenging them. So everything is different. We have to teach that the students with a different genre, and we have to have greater variation in order to become that some things are not obvious. We have to improve our posture of teaching. So let me tell you, if you are a teacher of software engineering and you say that I use the same skills for AI, I'm sorry, you are a wrong teacher. Every subject demands different things, and you should be creative in order to deliver the content. How actually you're illustrating the concept, this is what your philosophy is all about. So your research statement should outline what is the proposal, how you connect your research interest, what is your funding potential, area of interest. Now, let me tell you, this is very important for you, because many institutes, they tell that, okay, sir, I want to hire a research professor. My basic thing is, and that is why good people, even they don't apply. They give a target like this. Because let me tell you very openly, everybody, because when I see that the advertisements of many institutes, I don't know about Sandeep Institute. I would also like Dr. Deepak to please give me how they advertise their positions, and I will tell them that how you should advertise. Because when I see that teaching advertisements, what I see is that the people are giving the pressure on the people that, okay, you have to do this. This is that. This is that. This is this. What is this? You should not give the pressure. You should first of all give them their role. You should give them a particular responsibility and a particular vision, that what we expect that person should do. Because if you expect something, then a person will give you 100% in everything. Because if you put a pressure that, okay, you have to do this, you have to do that, this is wrong. No particular person, even though he is very expert, he will never give. Because why? For that teaching will become a hectic job, or I can say a stressful job. We have to make his vision and his your expectations corroborated with his skills. So how your vision, how your expectation is matching with my objectives, this is where we have to write your proper advertisement. So find your potentials, write your area of expertise, compatibility, your technique, and your productivity, how productive you are. So always show the links between the research and teaching. This is important, everybody. Let me tell you, nobody will guide you this thing. And it's a very, I can say it's a bigger golden words that I'm going to say right now. Teaching actually gives birth to research, and research gives birth to effective teaching. Note my point down, everybody. Teaching gives birth to the research, and research gives a birth to effective teaching. So this is correlated, everybody. Teaching and research is correlated. Okay, so understand the myth, everybody. So always get a second opinion that, okay, where we are good, where we are not good. So that's why I'm saying openly that 90%, I can say 100% of the institutes, including every institute I'm saying, they actually advertise their positions in a wrong manner. If you see ACM Communication Magazine, see how China, how Australia, how USA, they advertise the post. What are their expectations? But over here in India, what is your responsibility? We should not take responsibility. We should take expectations. Expectations from the department, expectations as a role of associate professor. Then you can say that nice people are coming for the resumes. So invite the people. Don't give them the pressure that you have to do this thing for the institute. You should bridge the gap between you and the vision between the people. So I think Dr. Deepak will agree with me today. So always check and correct the spellings, grammars, and punctuations. Very important, because sometimes I see the CV and everything having lots of spelling mistakes. And always have references. Very important, everybody. Very, very important. Your references should be very good. And let me tell you, if you're applying for a research professor, please find some good professor, at least from abroad, who knows you properly. So that's why I'm saying, all of you, please, at least in a year, write at least 1 or 2 papers apart from your guide, or at least include 1 or 2 professors who are actually doing very good job in your area to hone your skills. Because once you take their creativity, and if he's a good professor, he will actually work with your paper, and naturally you can make a good team. Okay, so don't add his just name. He can become a hyena, or you can become a hyena, or just a swapper. Make him sure that he is also working, because most of the good people, they work with your paper. So always take a second opinion and add your team skills. That's why we can say, if you see my Google Scholar, lots of people are added in my Scholar as my collaborators. Lots of people, I can say. Always present the best of yourself. Always have a plan B and plan C. That can be that, okay, if the call doesn't come for a professor, okay, I'm ready for a associate professor. Okay, sir, not associate professor, I can shift myself to a researcher. So always have the plans, because many times the job expect many things, but you have to be ready for plan B or plan C. So across the all three, we can say, always be short, be a particular message, be connected, confident, factual, coherent, and please be sensibly concluded. Very important. So these are the resources from YouTube, that how you can write a good teaching and a research statement. So I think today you can understand that why the teaching and research statement are important, and how you should actually write your teaching and research statement along with the cover letter. So these are some of the resources that you can see. And these are the websites which I have already found, that how you can improve your teaching perspectives. And this is a very good blog, and you can see the link over here. The professor is in. Everybody is a teaching. Everybody has a teaching skill. The only thing is how creative you are there and how solving problem you can have. So now the house is open for next 1 minute for any type of questions. Any question, please, you can please write the here so that you can find that. Dr. Deepak?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We have a break for 1 minute. We can have a question answer session for the people, just for your basic research statement, as well as for the any perspectives for research statement. After that, we start the lecture in 1 minute after that.
The house is open for questions. You can put your questions in the chat box, please.
So again, I repeat, everybody. Teaching gives birth to research, and research gives birth to creative teaching. Remember my words. 1 minute break, everybody. After that, we start with what is research.
Participants can put basic questions to start the research. This is the request.
And I hope everybody is enjoying. Please put some feedback also. I would be motivated from your feedback. Yes, packet publisher is good for publishing the book. It is good, but if you are writing a good book, I would always suggest you that please look first of all with Elsevier. Then you can go for Springer. Then go for IET. Then we have Wiley, and after that we have local publishers also. But the first important choice for every person in the world should be Elsevier. Okay. So I got another question, how to find research gaps. I've already told you, once you have the domain knowledge that what is actually meant by cloud computing, then you computing, and then you start knowing that what is the module or the main thing that you want to take from cloud computing and how you can learn more. And that is what you can find the research gap. But I will be opening up more things on research gap. There is lots of things that are coming right now. I'm just first of all opening up and we have what is teaching and research statement. That's all. Please silence, please. Thank you. Yeah, this is a question from Varsha Patil, that when we are teaching subjects first time, what should be the strategy? The first thing is that first of all, you should understand that why the subject is very important for the student. First of all, tell them that why this subject is important for their jobs and how this subject can be beneficial for their long run in order to have problem sharpening as well as the problem solution skills. And then you should teach the subject that why it is important. Many people say that when they go to the software engineering, they start teaching software engineering, but very important, they should understand that if you really want to become a software engineer, it is software engineering is the main thing that you should understand the requirements first. Because if you don't understand the requirements, how can you develop a creative software? So everything starts from software engineering and everything finishes at software engineering. So this is important. So that is how you can hone your teaching skills, how you can make the students mentally ready for that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm going to differentiate every these questions for that deeply over there. Every question will be answered, everybody. Yeah, I have not started the lecture right now. This is just an introduction. Main lecture will be starting after 10 minutes when I'm going towards research, when I'm going to mentally prepare all of you towards research. Now, I think everybody is mentally prepared how actually the teaching is important and how you can become an effective teacher. But I request Dr. Deepak Patil again that please add my one seminar that how to become an effective teacher for 2 days. That is my 2 days lecture.
It will be done, sir. It will be done.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this opportunity.
That will be a pleasure for us, actually.
Yeah, sure, sir. Because let me tell you, I'm openly saying, sir, that teaching is a skill that we should learn after every 2 months. That how we can improve our teaching skills.
Absolutely, sir.
Yes. Okay, so let us start with the second lecture, in which I am going to tell you. Now, this is important for you to understand what is research and how to do it. So first of all, let me be ready for this. Okay, everybody. Now let us, excuse me, Sir, Dr. Deepak, please see into this matter, please. Who is disturbing this?
Let me check, sir. Let me check.
Please see
Mr.
this.
Kunal,
Sir,
please
sir,
check this.
Mr.
sir,
Kunal,
you have you
Now,
can do from your side, sir. Sir, you
Sir,
can do as you are sharing the screen. You can do from your side. We could not do from our side. What will be the disturbance that you can stop?
actually, I'm saying to you because I don't want to waste the time. Every second is important for all of you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll see that. I'll see that. Mr. Kunal,
So
please check that.
annotation, and please you can stop
Yes, sir.
annotation from your side, sir. Please once you do, please once.
All the participants, I can say.
Okay, okay.
It's disturbing the participants, I can say.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I don't want to be disturbed when I'm teaching, sir. Actually, it creates a passionate against me, actually. I'm sorry.
Apologies for that, sir. Apologies
Yes.
for that.
Please, thank you so much. Thank you. Because every participant is very important for me. That's why I'm an inclusive professor, because if anybody is disturbing me, he's disturbing all the participants. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Now let us start with what is research and how to do it. Now, let me tell you, this is research doing is not a rocket science. Research is only a method and a methodology that you have to follow in order to become a good researcher. Now, the most important thing that people say that, okay, sir, I'm a very good researcher. Nobody can write a research paper. Everybody can write a research paper. The only thing is you have to follow a particular methodology in order to improve your research skills. Research is just a management. It is just a methodology, how you present your actual problem solving skills to the world, that yes, I can present my work in front of you. Now let me tell you, now I give you a very simple example. Now let me tell you how I teach. Now suppose you are in your home and your mother cooks a dal. Nobody can compete your mother's dal with anything. And even the 5-star hotel or a Michelin star hotel, they will even cook the same dal, because you cannot go for the other methodology like that. If you want to have a tea, you can have a tea from a 10 rupees only thing. But the only thing why the Michelin star hotels and other things, why they're charging you the money, because of their presentation. The tea is the same. They use only the same Book Brand or Taj Mahal or other brands, because I don't like tea, I drink coffee. So they only use the same brands, but the only thing is they give you a better aura. They give you a better tea, you can say a better waiter. And secondly, they give you better utensils. So there is no difference between a basic taste of the tea. The only thing is they are presenting the tea well. So if you, sir, this is not disturbing. So if you're a good researcher, now let me tell you, if you're a good researcher, the only thing is how better you present your work, how you make your word readily understandable by the people that was going to read your work. So let me tell you, keep it simple and straight. Very important. So prepare yourself psychologically. The first important thing is a top student enough? No, it is neither necessary or sufficient. Very important. Second thing, do you know your intellectual or mental limit? Do you know it? No, I don't know. You can say that ready for failures. If you are getting a research paper rejected, let me tell you, it is very good for you. Yeah, I always say, sometimes even my papers also get rejected. Okay, even let me tell you, I have submitted 8 papers last year in transactions. I didn't publish any paper in transaction in 2019, but I got 22 papers in SCI. But I always say that that was my not a failure, but that is a main thing of making myself ready. But you will be happy to know that in this first 6 months, I'm getting my 2 transactions getting ready by this month only. So I have not published any transaction paper last year, but I'm publishing 2 transactions in first 6 months. So that is what we can say, that if you are ready for the failure, it is coming good for you. It is making you better and better. Are you extremely motivated? Very important. So the most important thing is, don't have motivation. Don't consider that you have to have the responsibility for all these things. But the most important thing is you need to have a passion for this. You need to have, because let me tell you, as a researcher, I'm saying that research flows. If you can see my video right now, research flows in my veins. I always keep on thinking that what can be solved, what improvement can be done, how I can solve new problems, what new things I can do, what is new going to come, how we can see the new products, how the new computers can be looking like, what I can expect in Apple Watch 7, what I can expect in new MacBook Pro, or we can say in Mac Store, what about after Mac Store, what new things can be doing. So these things feel you motivated, because what research is, what you are thinking, what is to be done and what is going to come in the near future. So have a vision for research, make yourself mentally ready. So please be ready. So you can see, this is my important thing and this is my experience. Research is not a job, it is a hobby. Yeah, it is a hobby, everybody. I write research papers not to convince my university or to improve my standards, everything. It is coming. I never keep a track on anything, what the number is. I just keep a track what problems I'm solving, what I'm giving the word, how I'm getting recognized in my community. So what is research, everybody? This is important. What is the difference between a homework problem and a research problem? Now, let me tell you, as a teacher, now how you can become a researcher. Now, let me tell you. Now, suppose if you're teaching software engineering. Now, if we go for this type of lecture by Dr. Deepak Patil in coming days, now let me tell you how I will also teach you how to put assignments in the class. Now, let me tell you, I give you one example. I have seen 60% of the people, they say, okay, sir, what is software engineering? Explain the different models. This is just a homework. Okay, what is written in a particular book, the person will just vomit or just write over there or just copy paste from the internet and gives you the homework, and you will just check the homework because you even know that what is this. Nothing else. Nothing else. This is just a homework. But if I say you that, okay, make a team, yeah, now give a case study that, okay, a person has come into your company and he wants to make a hotel application, and he complains that his previous software has this problem, and now he's not a, you can say, a technologist person. Which model you will use and how you will solve that problem and how you can make the software better for him to use without any errors. So this is your methodology, that how you're giving your students a research problem where they can hone a skill, where they can build a team, and you will start their working on the job from the day one. So let me tell you, your homework and a research problem is actually laying a foundation for their placements. That is what the companies do. Companies will never ask your student, what is this and what is that? This is different now. Even if I go to the industry today, even I'm going to industries to take lots of interviews, I'm not telling them, okay, what is a pointer? I know what is a pointer, yeah. I know what is Stack Overflow. But I'm going to tell you that, okay, these are the 10 problems. Find which algorithm you can make and you can start giving me the answers. So you have to solve a problem. So that is what you can say me, that whether you are fit or not. So please don't stress on homework, stress on research problem. Rest depends on my lecture of teaching when Dr. Deepak will do for you. So number 2 will be, research is anything but homework. Yes, everything. Homework starts with the research and research ends with the homework solution. So if you're solving a problem, it's your homework, and how you solve the problem, how better you're solving the problem, and how you're solving that problem, that is your research. So everything starts from research, everybody, that the research just has a equal role. Okay. So finding a good problem is even to study a research problem. Yes, everybody, if you are even saying that you want to find a technical problem, your guide tell you, okay, which field you want to study, why you want to study, what do you want to study, even that is even a research. So research is about pushing your limits. So the most important thing is, research is a game. Now, what is Kung Fu? I will say openly, what is Kung Fu? Kung Fu is not to practice your skills. Kung Fu is how to understand your opponent, where the weak point is there, and how you can defeat on that weak point with that opponent. That is Kung Fu. So research is just a game. It's like a game, but it is played seriously, and how you have to create your rules in order to improve your creativity and how you present your papers. Sometimes even I've seen that a paper which is even having nothing is getting published, but a paper which is having a good research, but because of its presentation, because of its readability, even in my career, I have seen, I am taking some examples of the journals like Journal of Supercomputing, IEEE Access, MDPI. I'm getting lots of papers to do the review. Sometimes I'm rejecting those papers because I'm not able to understand the readability of that paper, but the analysis and the result skills and the model skills are very good. So the main thing is, it is a game in which you have to set the rules that how you will play the game. Okay, so it is a game very played seriously. So what is engineering research? Engineering is about optimization, but engineering research is to find the limits, how you will find the better ways to optimize. So in engineering just tell you invention, but engineering research will tell you how the invention will actually work. So engineering research is not science or empirical sciences. It is close to applied and mathematics as well as other things. I will be telling you what exactly is research after this presentation. So a good engineer, this is what I'm saying again, a teaching gives birth to the research and a research gives birth to effective teaching. So similarly, a good engineer need not to be a good researcher, but a good researcher need not to be a good engineer. So everything goes in a mix level. Okay, let me tell you, in some ways, let me tell you, I have not given something very significant in the world of blockchain, but if you see my research papers on blockchain, all the papers are in top tier journals. But in the real time, I have not done something very high-end benefit like that, because I'm part of some communities of blockchain over here in Vietnam. But in terms of real-time implementations, my work is less, but my publication score is very high. So it depends everything that we have to do, and we have to improve ourselves day by day. So different levels. Level 1, this is your assistantship, where you actually start learning the research. Today, you are at level 1. So learn the drill. Level 2, homework your research. When you try to use these skills in order to find the research paper, how you hone your skills. Build up your confidence. Level 3, formulate your problem and solve it. This is where we can start your postdoc. So level 1 is your start of PhD. Level 2 is your PhD. Level 3 is your reading for your postdoc or for high-end collaborations. And exercise your creativity. So level 4 will be formulating problems for others to solve. When you become the mentor, when you become the director research, or you become the director of your lab. So I don't say director research, because director research is more like a admin position. I always say that you are a director of a lab. Okay, sir, you are formulating the problems, you are having a team, and you are making the others to solve that. That is what I do here. And the most important thing is knowing what to do is more important than knowing how. Yes, everybody, knowing what to do, what we are going to solve, it is more important. That actually in your PhD, the most important thing, people say that, okay, sir, let's learn the simulator, let's do the MATLAB. And people learn after 2 years that, okay, oh my God, NS2 or NS3 was not there. MATLAB is not able to solve that problem. You should understand what to do, everybody. This is important. Learn your objectives, then rather than knowing how. This is the most important game of the research, which you have to understand. So what is a good research? The most important thing is novelty. What etc. you're going to publish it first. Number 2, simplicity. I've already told you, I'm going to tell you how to structure your paper tomorrow. Universality. And the most important thing is you realize a good research if you keep it all the day, all it's updated, and consider that as a first stage. Always find that research paper is like a date, that I'm going to impress a woman, that woman can become my lover or a girlfriend. So according to me, I'm saying it openly, for me, research is like a girlfriend, and I love my girlfriend very much. It's like a good research. So how to do research? And these are the common misunderstandings. Research is only for genius. No, research is for everybody. Even if you are a school-going student boy, and if you have done something good, you can publish the paper. Everybody will listen to you, because the paper requires the skills and the readability. It doesn't see the designations. So thinking yourself as a genius. No. I'm a team player. I have even I don't write the complete paper. My other team members write the paper. I write the main components. So writing the paper completely as a one-person job, it is impossible. Now the research papers require lots of things, and that's why you need to have some important team players in your research. Think you need to understand the subject in advance? No, you have to hone your skills. Keep on learning. And last but not the least, which I would like to tell you, think a solution is correct because you can't find for anything. Very important research. So how to do research? Be confident and humble. I've already told you. Be open for critical and collaborativeness. Be ambitious and realistic. Be proactive and willing to take a chance. Very important, because many people say that, sir, we want to have a chance with you, but I only give chance to few of the few. Few of the few, they make it with a collaboration with me. Very few of the few. So the only way you improve yourself is to learn things, and you please keep on doing that things that you're afraid of. Always strike at that place where you are the weakest, because the strongest thing will never defeat you. So endless cycle, it is there between excitement and depression, an endless cycle between success and failure, and endless cycle between overconfidence and self-doubt. This is important. And research needs faith, and always keep on understanding new things. Now let's start with the next lecture, in which I would like to improve some of the myths for all of you, that some people say research methodology. It is wrong. Research methodology is not one word, it is two different words. Research, I have already told you, if you're even searching a problem, you are doing something, it is a research. But how you are doing the research, and what are the techniques you are using, what are the tools you are doing to do the research, and the tools and techniques you are solving that problem, that is your methodology. So finding a problem, it is a research, but solving a problem, it is a methodology. So find these two words, research and methodology. Please, excuse me, sir, please mute the mic. So the organization for the lecture will be, we will define Okay. So the organization of this lecture will be research. I will be defining the research, some classifications of research. We define and discuss the methodology. What is the process of research? And we discuss the creativity, and understand this lecture very carefully, everybody, very carefully, because after this lecture, if you understand this lecture properly, now you are mentally ready in order to understand the research paper. So today I'm going to give you some brief highlights of the research paper, what it is all about, but main thing will be done tomorrow. So what is research defined? What is research? Now, let me tell you, it's a very confined definition that I actually designed for all of you. It's a systematic approach to obtain and confirm new and reliable knowledge. Knowledge, what is there? You have to improve with the learning. So it's an approach, how you combine the new and the reliable knowledge. So the most important thing is research is what you can say that you are making a gist of the existing knowledge, and you are finding some ways how you can improve the new knowledge. So the technical gap will be that what actually is being done and how you will find the new thing from the existing things. So basically, if suppose you are doing some work on cloud computing or security, what is meant by the baseline? The baseline is meant by that what is to be worked out. So that is called the technical gap. What is being done and what needs to be done. So what you are going to do, that is the bridge between that research gap, and that is called research design. So it should be systematic and it should be ordered. It should have the proper series of steps. I'm going to show you. The main thing is to define a new knowledge, and that is called novelty. That is called simplicity. You must have some reliability, because some people say that, sir, we defined an architecture. How? We say the paper is incomplete. Sir, this is our proposed model. Okay, it is a proposed model, but how can you prove that this proposed model is having some reliability? The paper is incomplete and the paper stands rejected. So you have some basis in order to understand, and you have to defend in the paper that actually if you're proposing something, how you are testing that this is called validity. So the only thing is validity. Okay. So it is like same thing. Before you place the dish in front of your family members, if you don't taste the dish, how can you assure that the dish is good? Maybe the salt is high. Maybe the salt is not there. You have to find before tasting that whether it is good or not. So taste the research. The general definition, it applies to all the disciplines. So whether it is mathematics, physics, chemistry, computer science, it applies to all. So the truth was not used in the definition. Let me tell you, truth is not there. If you are not going... Excuse me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Siddharth, sir, excuse me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, actually, I'm getting disturbed with these noises, please.
Yeah, I am looking for that only, sir.
Please, sir, this noise is disturbing me, please. Actually,
Oh,
I want
okay,
silence.
sir.
I want silence and patience, please.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. So the question is, research is not about the truth. If you are finding something good, it is a research. Even if you're not finding something and you are failing a particular topic, even it is called a research. So even you can say, I can use a old definition. Edison was told that he failed in 2 lakh times before finding the bulb. And everybody asked him that you failed many times. But what he told is that I even knew. Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, please see this.
Yes, yes, yes.
He is disturbing all the participants. So Newton told that to the people that actually that he knows 2 lakh ways that how not to make a bulb. So this was the thinking. So that's why we can say that truth is just an outside of a realm of thinking by the researcher. Okay, so consider yourself that you can improve, or maybe you cannot improve, but how much you can improve. So research is not an accidental discovery. Accidental discovery can occur in a structured research process. It usually takes a form of phenomena, and a structured research can lead to an understanding the observation. So most important. And research is not, you can say, continued, just a data collection. because today what I see is that research is just like people putting the data sets. Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, first of all, solve this problem, please.
Okay.
I'm stopping the lecture.
So actually, from your side only, you can stop the annotations as you are sharing the screen, sir. On the topmost, there is option where you can stop the annotations by the participants. On the top, sir.
Okay, sir.
There you are having the option
Yeah,
to stop the annotations by
Sir,
participants.
some noise is also coming, sir. You check someone is there who is not.
So actually, some
Unmute.
people are leaving the session and again joining. Due to that, it is creating noise, sir.
So is there anything
Okay.
to control it?
Try to solve the problem, Kunal.
Yes, sir. I am
Lock
looking
the
for
meeting.
that.
Lock the meeting, sir. Lock the meeting, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now the meeting is locked.
Okay. So let me continue with the research. The research is not just a data collection that, okay, I got lots of papers today that, okay, sir, we put some data sets and we just put some experimentation with some random forest or some machine learning technique that, okay, sir, this is called a research. No, it is not a research. So you have to formulate something. So the data collection, you can say it is not a research problem. It is just to gain a reliable knowledge. Okay, so these days, let me tell you, if you're doing some machine learning based paper, now let me tell you, gone were the days when paper were just using that same data set, doing some experimentation and getting the paper. No, you have to add some primary data into your data collection. Only then your paper can be through. Okay, so even I'm doing some research with my master scholars and even some other people. So let me tell you, we are making our own data sets in order to improve our literal thinking as well as the SCA papers. So collecting the data reliable, it is an important part of the research process. Tomorrow, I will be showing you some data science based websites where you can took the reliable data. So don't think that Kaggle is the only website. So I will be telling you tomorrow some websites where you can take the reliable data, because these days many people are doing machine learning and deep learning based research. I will be telling you the data and tools tomorrow. So searching out a published result in libraries or on the internet that, okay, sir, this is the result by him. Okay, sir, let me modify that. And let me tell you, everybody, most of the problem that we see in terms of simulation only, that, okay, sir, we have the data. Let's change this data. Let's change the simulation parameters and let's publish the paper. They're just making some dumping in education. This is called academic misconduct, or I can say research misconduct. So don't do that. So this is an important and early part of the step. And the research process should always have some synthesis as well as some analysis. And let me tell you, some people even say that, okay, I just write a paper on systematic literature review, systematic literature research, everything. No doubt it's a good paper, but it is not a research. You are just producing what is actually being done. This is called a review paper. So don't consider, everybody, let me understand one important thing. Review paper is just to make you understand what the concept is all about. You can make a review paper in your PhD, but review paper should not be considered as a research paper. You are just doing some basic understanding of the conceptual things or the latest things. And some people, they don't add new things. So please add, if you're doing a review paper, please add some new things and some even case study that can make a review paper look better as compared to some analytical paper. Okay, so review paper should not be considered as a research paper. This is important. So research is, everybody. So what is research? Research is something searching the explanation of events, relationships, and creating what, how, and why. These are the three important things. And if you have seen my lecture last time when I was giving in the Sandeep Institute, when I was discussing grant also, I will be discussing grant tomorrow also. So what, how, and why, these are the skills that is required in the paper. And why and where and whom that is called, that is answered by the reviewer. So you are the person who will actually defend in your research paper what is the thing, how you have done, and why you have done. So what are your interactions? So let me tell you, there are five questions of research, but now I will not tell you, I will tell you tomorrow in grant. So the three important questions that are in your hands is what, how, and why. Please note it down. What, how, and why. So this is where you have to find your literature, you have to add your literature view inside your paper, and you have to go for your system models. So research is a planned process, and it's a creative process, and it should be circular. It should be leading to more questions. Ask yourself more questions, how I can improve the paper. That's why I've told you, be humble and open to criticism. So very well designed research requires a very potential application. So let me tell you everybody, some people say that, okay, sir, I designed this firewall, I designed this encryption algorithm, but for what is the application? Some people even make some routing protocol. Okay, for what application, for what real-time problem you are able to solve it? So in your research paper, you must design some potential application that is actually required, that is to be done in that. So failure to see applications can be that users are not trained or experienced, and even researchers don't provide proper interpretations. Sometimes even some people ask me, sir, we have done our good research paper, but what was the problem? The only problem is they have the graphs, but they don't have the data. Today, I'm getting lots of papers to review, but let me tell you, I don't see the paper. I don't see, first of all, the paper towards what is being proposed. I see the analysis first. Because let me tell you today, why the JCR is decreasing, because many editor-in-chiefs are complaining that people from especially India, they are coming like a flood with the papers, but those papers are not citable. Now, suppose if I'm going to cite your paper, if I don't see your data, I just see your graph. What is a graph? Graph will just consider it as a presentation of data. But if you don't give me the data, how can I say that your paper is citable? And that's the reason, everybody, that without the data, we are shunting the paper out. We are even rejecting the papers that, okay, sir, the paper is incomplete. Complete the paper, resubmit the paper. So please add some data skills, that even if you're doing simulation, please add what is your data on which the graphs are being plotted. This is very important. Please note it down. And researchers, and that is why you can say researchers are responsible to help understand research implication. Now, understand, everybody, if I don't have your data, that what is exactly the figures of your protocol, how can I improve? How can I see that whether my work is better than you? It is only on the basis of data. So if you don't give me the data, let me tell you, I will not consider your paper in review. I will be telling you how to read the paper, and then you will understand. And that is my will be my presentation, that you will ask yourself. You can ask yourself that, sir, I published the paper, but yes, today I can understand that, yes, sir, my paper is not citable. Okay, so this is, wait for that lecture. So the question is how? And the public research is public good. So more rigorous and objective, it should be defined. I will be telling you the components tomorrow. So private research may also be rigorous, but the question is what type of questions and what type of problems you are solving. So what are the classifications of research? Very important. So the two types of research are, the most important thing is arbitral as well as artificial. So I have classified into two types of things, basic and applied. So what is basic? It is a fundamental research, that, okay, you are designing some new formula, you are designing some new theory, you are making some new law, that is called, and it is mostly applied with economics, mathematics, physics, biology, biochemistry, biotechnology. You can say your applied sciences, you can do for that. But if you go for applied research, that is with computer science, like you can even apply that, what is the problem and how you are able to solve the problem. You are refreshing some things. So that is the main thing. So if you are a person of computer science, electronics, mechanical, and civil, you are actually into the applied research. And you can see with this type of diagram, you can see what is basic research. It is disciplinary. It is concerned with physical sciences, biological, social, and humanities. But applied research is with us. Computer science, electronics, mathematics, you can apply for these type of things. And this is called disciplinary, designed to improve a discipline, new theory, fundamental relationships, and analytical procedures. And maybe it can be used by economists for other types of principles and theories, and provides conceptual analytical skills. So just I come to this thing now, subject matter. Now, this is where I would like to stress over there. Now, what is your subject matter? Basically, if you're doing some research on cloud computing or computer science or electronics, we have to understand what is the set of decisions that you're going to take, what is the subject matter boundaries, and what is meant by the conclusions that you're going to draw. So basically, what is your objective? So objective can be that what is going to be studied, and the main thing is what you are proposing and what are the analysis that you have done in a particular parameters and how accurate your research is. I will be telling you in detail tomorrow how to actually present your research paper. So it provides the policy makers the decisions, a primary source, and even it can be a cornerstone also. But the most important thing that I love, and that is what I do in my lab, etc., is problem solving research. that is to define a specific problem for a specific problem solver. And we find the result in terms of recommendations, holistic approach, and most important is most durable. So this presentation I will be sharing with Dr. Deepak. So you can find this, the difference between analytical and descriptive research. So descriptive research is to just determine, describe, and identify something. So descriptive research is more like finding a review paper or just doing some systematic literature review. So that is called your basic foundations of research. So let me tell you, if you're doing a research on PhD, the first research stage is your descriptive research. Then you are going for some analytical based research when you're applying something, you are producing something, and then your analysis and your findings and everything. So methodology. Now, let me tell you the most important definition. So this is called research. Now I will teach you about methodology. Now there are two terms, everybody understand carefully. Like in terms of software engineering, there are two myths. What is verification and what is validation? Now, what is verification? Now, there are two things. Now, let me give you an example with how to understand this. Now, let me tell you how I teach actually. Okay. Now, suppose you take a flight from India and you go to Australia. Okay. Now, the first thing is what you will do in Australia. First of all, what they will do, they will first of all check your passport. Now, why your passport is to be checked? It has to be verified that what you are claiming is actually what you can have. Now, after you go to Australia, you can't do driving because you don't have the driving license. You can't have the right to vote. So what you are validated to do that? So the answer is what you are doing, what you are designing is basically you're verifying, and are you designing the correct things is validation. So similarly, what is methodology? Methodology means how and what is the direction you are conducting the research. That, okay, sir, I will find the review papers. I will find this is the problem. This is the problem by the other researchers. This is the new thing. And that is how I will do the thing. But how you will do the thing? Methodology is your path to do the research, and how you will do the path. What are the tools and techniques you will do with the path? That is called your methods. So these can be used interchangeably, but there's a difference between methodology and the method. So method are basically known as tools, techniques, and the method and the you can say some website or other things, whatever it is, I will be telling you tomorrow because of the methods. So methodology is basically known as the formulation, the approach that you will do in order to find a particular technique. And method is to use specific techniques and tools. So understand what is research methodology. If you are learning like a Kothari book over there, so methodology is just teaching you how you will float the research, how you will do the research. But actually, let me tell you, now you can understand that actually, if you're doing a PhD coursework, you are just making the student understand what is actually meant by the methodology. You are giving him a path, but how to do that path, that is missing. That is where we can say that the coursework is actually incomplete. You are making them understand what is the path, what is the approach, but how to do that approach, how to do literature, where to find the literature, where to actually write the abstract, what are the main sources, what are the techniques, everything that is missing in coursework. And that is why we can say that people who are doing their PhDs, they become frustrated because they know the methodology, but they don't know the method. So these are the two things, research methods and research methodology. And research is different. Okay, so if you combine methodology and method and you're solving a problem, that fusion of methodology, method, and the problem of solving the skill, that is called your research. So research is a broad term. It consists of methodology, method, as well as the gaps. So if you combine together, that becomes a research. So in terms of methodology, you can see that they are interdependent and sometimes they're even correlated. We have to find some other things also. So the process of research. Now, this is important, everybody. Now, please pay attention to this presentation. Very important attention. So 90% of your problems, that why you are people frustrated, why you are getting the problems, what are the technical gaps, I'm going to make this understand in this slide only. This is my experience to all of you. The first step, everybody, ask yourself a question. What is your domain? Okay, sir, my domain is sensor. Okay, sir, what is you are going to do in that domain? There are lots of chapters: security, routing, efficiency. What are the different things? What is the domain knowledge? What is your specialized knowledge? Okay, sir, you are good into sensor, but you are specialized into this routing. So the first thing is, what is the specialized work and the problem you are going to take in the subject? So that's the reason, everybody, start with the domain knowledge. understand what is your specialization, and then understand what is the problems in that specialization. It's like a pyramid. You can say it's like a pyramid, everybody. Have the particular domain knowledge, then understand the specialization, then find the main problems that the specialization is working and struggling. That is your main area to research. So how the process is initiated, what is your problem? Second thing, what is the goal? What is the objective? How you will solve that problem? So that is the reason, everybody, your methodology, methodology and methods, they combine together and they go for the questions. The third thing, you have to design. Okay, sir, let us solve this problem by first of all do some literature work. We will find the research papers. Okay, sir, we have to use this simulation tool. We will use this type of programming and other things. What is to be defined? What is the design to achieve that objectives? That's why you can understand today why PhD students are getting frustrated, because they just know the methodology, but what is the method to do the research? How they will attain the objectives, how they will find the objectives, that has never been taught in the PhD class. So results can be generated by conducting the research. So that could be your results. And that's why I'm telling you, you just present the graphs, but the graphs are not the answer. I need the data, I need the conclusions, and I need the analysis. Okay, so I will be telling you a perfect structure of a research paper. Even I will be showing you my research paper tomorrow, which I'm very proud of. That is right now the #1 research paper in sensor networks in terms of routing efficiency. I will be telling you it is now with a 3.7 impact factor. I will be telling you that research paper. And after that, most important thing is analysis. Results, after that, analysis. That is step number 5. So that is the main step, everybody. This is called a complete process of research. Find a question, find the objectives, how to find that problem, design how you will do one by one, then find the results, then do the analysis. So that is how the methodology and the method actually works in the find of research. So this is called the process of research. You can see this is a schematic. Okay, I will not go more on theoretical, but I believe in action. The first thing is find the problem. Okay, find the problem. This is your training, but the training is not complete. Okay, the second thing is formulate your objectives and goals. Okay, sir, my goal, what is your goal? Goal is to make a new routing protocol for sensors. But what are your objectives? Okay, sir, I have to design a particular literature. I have to find the gaps. What are the routing protocols problems? First of all, I have to find the problems in existing works. This is the first objective, everybody. Unless you don't know what is being done, what is the problems in the existing works, you will not create a particular objective. Then you should find that, okay, sir, I will propose this, I will test on this, and this will be my analytical approach. So the most important, don't say in your thesis that you are doing a literature review. Just find that you are finding the analysis in order to study what is being formulated and what are the basic drawbacks of the existing methodologies. That is your objective number 1. I will be telling you how to write a thesis tomorrow. So the third thing will be planning and doing the research design. Then generate your results and then interpret your results. This is how the first 5 points, the 5 points will make you understand that what exactly is the methodology of the research. So creativity. Research is a creative process. Be creative. That's why I'm saying, because unless if you are not open to criticism, you can't become creative. You can't understand. You can't hone your skills. So most important thing is include your insight, include your logic, and in sense what is going to be teach. So let me tell you, everybody, the most important part of research, how research gives you effective teaching, because with research, you build up your logic. And if you build up your logic, you will teach with examples. And if you teach with examples, you become an effective teacher. That's the reason, everybody, the most important thing that teaching gives you to the research to find the problems. But what research gives to the teaching is your logical thinking. How you express your problems in terms of illustrations. That's why I say that before you become an effective teacher, become an effective researcher first. But if you want to become a researcher first, become a teacher first. Okay, so make the gaps between that. So don't be confused. Teaching goes to research. Research goes back to effective teaching. Like a process, two-way process. It gives output as research, and the research gives input as output as effective teaching. So research requires imagination, intuition, and curiosity. And fostering creativity, you can see, gather previously. Now, this is important, everybody. How to start a research? Gather previously developed knowledge. I will be telling you the tools tomorrow. Unless you don't know, let me tell you, everybody, don't go on research papers first. I'm repeating everything. First of all, understand your domain knowledge. What is a specialized knowledge? Then understand what is being done in the existing things. Then exchange your ideas with the existing researchers. And let me tell you, sometimes people even ask me, sir, can you give us your programming code of PhD? I said, take it on GitHub. Sir, can you guide me of this code? Okay, give me the code, share it on GitHub. I will improve the code. Because I love programming. I love to hone the skills. I love to handle the errors. Let me tell you, everybody, if you are a good programming teacher, now this is my another question to you. Never take the test. Never take the test to give you, okay, write the program of this. Tell them, okay, this is the program. Find out what is the problem and what is the output. You will make yourself a great lab teacher. Great lab teacher. And if you're doing for a, and let me tell you, most of the people, what they make mistakes in examination, they give you, okay, what is the, okay, write this problem. Write this problem. Okay, and the person can just copy paste over there. This is the code. But let me tell you, find out how they can solve the skills by giving them something to debug the codes. This is what I do in my lab. When I'm taking the examination, I give them the problem to solve, and they have to write the algorithm first. Because how I teach the examination of programming, let me tell you, I first of all tell them that, okay, this is your problem. First of all, make the algorithm. Okay, after you make the algorithm, you make your program. Once you are okay with the program, then get it done to the computer. And after that, we have a small sprint break that, okay, you have just 5 minutes. This is a quiz. Just solve how many programs you can debug. The fastest program, you are getting the better marks. So this is how the student is mentally prepared for the examination. But over here, we just take like viva. This is wrong. Wrong, I can say. Applying deductive logic over there. Look at the other things. Look at the alternatives. Question and challenge assumptions. Challenge them. And search for relationships. Take the risks. And most important, allow curiosity to grow. Keep on improving. Okay, sir, let me tell you, my guide, I'm saying openly, my guide was like a devil. Yes, I'm saying, I'm openly saying, my guide was a devil. Because why? He always tell me, if you can improve by 26%, you can improve by 30%. Let me tell you, when I have done my PhD, our result was even improvised. You can see my paper tomorrow. I will tell you, my research, my protocol was even better than I can say 94% better than existing protocols. Because my guide always tell me, if you can do 60%, you can do 80%. If you can do 80%, you can do 90%. Improve it. Have the curiosity. Challenge yourself. That's the answer. He always demands many things from me. So set problems aside, keep them back to come, and write your thoughts. And the most important thing is have creativity. Now, what is creativity? The creativity is actually the difference between the satisfaction and the research. Outstanding things. Okay, sir, this is where I'm satisfied, but this is where I have done the extraordinary thing. Okay, sir, you told me 80%. Now we have taken 90%. This is my creativity. This 10% is my creativity. So challenge yourself how much creative you are in your class. You have done a satisfied lecture, but are your students able to solve a particular problem with that lecture? That is your creativity. That is your outstanding research. Okay, so that is called creativity, everybody. So I hope you are all learning with my lectures. So now we take a break for 5 minutes. After that, we start with the final lecture of today. Any question, please? You are most welcome. Any question, please? Thank you. Siddharth, sir?
Yes, sir.
Participants are requested to put their questions in the chat box.
Yeah, 5 minutes break, sir. We have 40 minutes more lecture, sir, today. Okay, sir?
Yes, sir. Will do.
Okay. So given an example of formulating a goal and the objectives, what is your goal? Goal means that what you're going to propose in your thesis, and what are the objectives, how you will do in order to attain those objectives. So goal is a broad thing. Objectives are the sub goals that you will do. It's like a sprint. Okay. So this is a good question. Collaboration need to get it into very close groups. How to get into it, and initially what you're going to get something. So actually, let me tell you, this is a very tedious question that you have asked. But the answer to this is that collaboration only comes from your work only. That if you are having a good work, having a good strong background, and even in my last lecture to Sandeep Institute, I have told them that even if you are good to apply for the grant, but unless you don't have the infrastructure in your college, you don't have a good team, you don't have a good MOUs with international universities, how can you get the grant? How the grant oriented person can trust you that, okay, I can trust you that my money is safe and you will be able to give me the results. So you have to convince him. So I will be telling you tomorrow how to actually go for the grant. That I will be repeating that lecture. Yeah, that's an important question. What is the difference between research and invention? Research is the methodology to make an invention, and invention is the new thing that comes out of your research. This is the first answer. Research gives invention. The process of invention is called research. Yeah. So which type of research is beneficial, experimental or theoretical? So I've already told you, unless you don't have a theoretical research, how can you go for experimentations? So theoretical research is the foundation for experimentation, and experimentation result will give you the foundation for the implementations. So have theoretical knowledge, theoretical research first, like systematic literature review. Then you should have the methodology. Then you use the tools and techniques to go for the practical application by understanding the gaps of theoretical into the practical skills. So theory and experiment is a part of research if you're proposing something good. That is what. What type of research is good for management topics? I'm saying it is called descriptive as well as analytical research. Okay, so how can we differentiate between the results turned out of core science and pseudoscience? Are pseudoscience results accepted in specific cases? So let me tell you, pseudoscience research is something different, actually. So pseudoscience research can be expected in some specific cases, but the most important thing in pseudoscience is that you can't validate your research unless or until you have high-end working prototypes. Okay, so for that working prototypes, you need some grants and to have some pseudo researches. So that can be the case study oriented research. But yes, you can defend with some, you can say some, if you ask me, that you can take some case studies or you can take some benchmarks. Benchmarks can be the good area for pseudo research. I'm trying to make an impact and need to stand on shoulders of giants, or so that to hand holding. I don't understand, Mr. Gaurav Gupta. Please be clear in your thoughts, please. Thank you so much. So would you be explaining how to draft a, yes, I will be telling you how to draft a research proposal. So first of all, I'm going to tell you that how to send a proposal, first of all, okay, to the guide. Because let me tell you, most of the people say that my guide is harassing me. I'm sorry to say this, because the guides always harass, but to only those people who are actually not doing the work in a proper sense. Okay, because guides expect a lot, but I'm telling you that how to handle the guide. And even you can say, I'm going to give you some hidden information of PhD. Today, it is going to be the baseline of research. Okay, that is going to be an important question. Difference between copyright and patent. Now, let me tell you, copyright is different thing. Patent is an invention. So if you have a book, you can go for the copyright. Like if you have a paper, you have to transfer the copyright. But the invention, or you design like a particular prototype, you design a radio, you design an engine, that's a patent. That's an invention actually. So how to improve technical English? Many people ask me, that's how you improved your English, everything. So the answer for this is that learn more and more. Let me tell you very important thing. Tomorrow I'm going to give you one important thing, one important website. Every month, I believe that many people will not will tell me, sir, you're telling a lie, but it is a fact. Even I can swear to the God and swear to my parents right now. You can see in my video right now. Every month, I will give you the websites also where you can download the magazines. Every month, I read more than 35 magazines. So you can say, if you remember that if a particular magazine has 80 pages on an average, every month I read 3,000 to 4,000 pages. And every month, at least I read one book. I have to complete one book. So I keep on learning, I keep on reading, because in 24 hours, if you ask Dr. Deepak Patil also, or other people who are very close to me, I work for 20 hours, 19 hours, 20, sometimes 22 hours a day. Sometimes I work even more than that. What type of research for postdoc expected? Excuse me, sir, you want to say something? Okay. What type of research for postdoc level expected? Yes, it is more like applying some solution to the real-time world. That is what we can say. So how to prove originality of my data to the reviewer? Now, let me tell you, this is important question. Suppose you are submitting your research paper to IEEE or to other Elsevier or Springer also. There was a time if you are putting a data science paper, nobody asked you of the data set. But from next month, from 1st August onwards, maybe they have implemented after 15 days. They are becoming more strict now. You have to submit your data set even to IEEE data port. Like in some time you have to implement your programming, so you have to upload your programming code now, but now you have to implement your data code also, because you can see recently because of that lots of nature journals, they are retracting the COVID-19 papers also. So that's why they have taken the decision, please add the data set now. So that's the answer, everybody. Okay, yeah, I will be guiding you. You can email me, there is no problem. So same questions are coming. So okay, whether patent first or publish, so that depends, because sometimes I publish my research paper and after that I'm applying for the patent. So depends, because a patent can take 1 to 2 years, because right now I'm having 2 patents in my career, and I have already applied for 6 patents right now, and out of that 6 patents, I don't trust Indian patents. I only trust the US patents. Only 2 Indian patents I have. Now I'm only focusing on US patents only. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so yeah, I will be putting up these questions in a Scopus index. Yeah, I will be putting up these questions tomorrow. That will be tomorrow's session. So Dr. Deepak, everything going on well?
Yes, sir.
In 1 minute, we will start, Mr. Siddharth. Okay?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, now you can see the title which I'm going to discuss, and everybody will agree with me that this is what we want to understand today. Okay, can you tell me the chat box screen? Okay, can you tell me how many people are doing their PhD who are attending my session right now? Just write yes, yes, yes. Thank you. How many PhD students? Okay. 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 That's great. Okay. That's good. Okay. So thank you so much. So many people are doing the PhDs. And can you tell me how many people now, please don't write yes for those people who are doing PhD. Now, can you tell me how many people in this group right now are the PhD guides? Just tell yes, who are guiding the PhD scholars. Yeah, I will answer this question tomorrow, Mr. Murari J. I don't trust Indian patent now, because why I don't trust Indian patent now, let me tell you, actually, many people are making a fool for institution organizations like that they are just publishing the patent and they're saying that the patent is awarded. No, let me tell you, this is a myth today. I'm going to clear right now. There is a difference between patent published and a patent granted. Patent publication means that your patent is just cleared for the novelty for the stage 1, just a stage 1. So stage 1 doesn't mean that it is going to be authenticated at later stage. So there is a stage 2 when you go for experimentation, you go for re-experimentation. You can be guided by the patent attorney that, okay, sir, you have to rechange everything. You have to add these things. Then you will be, after experimentation, after 2-3 years of experimentation, after you have a good patent attorney, then after final experimentation, you will be getting the patent granted. So if you are getting those people across you that, okay, I'm getting this patent published, my 8th patent got published, my 15th patent got published. So let me tell you, they are not doing a very high-end job. They're just clearing the first stage. And even the first stage doesn't mean that they have cleared their patents. And let me tell you, the patent publication and the patent granting ratio is just 2%. Suppose, which means that if 10 patents are published today, only 2 patents are getting granted. So that is the reason, everybody, that in USA, there is nothing concept called patent published. Yes, patent published is no use. Yeah, it is no use. You can't even, if you want to write in your resume, patent published, it is okay. But patent publication is not a qualification. You can say that some people, let me tell you, even there's a very funny myth which all of you can come in front of this. Some people write in their resume, PhD pursuing. Okay, PhD pursuing is not a degree. Yes, you should not write PhD pursuing in your signature or in your resume. PhD pursuing is not a degree. So similarly, patent publication is not anything. Patent grant is something. PhD is PhD. Okay, you must write doctor. Yeah, you can write over here, but let me tell you, it is not your colleagues. Sir. Many people are making fun of a fool of the management also, who don't have the knowledge. Now let me tell you. So PhD pursuing. So let me tell you what. Now I openly ask you everything. Is PhD pursuing a degree? If you have done a MTech or MCA, if you have done it, it is called a degree. But is PhD pursuing a degree? Yes or no? Just right. Yeah, exactly. PhD pursuing is not a degree. Okay. So similarly, patent publication is not a patent grant. Patent grant means that once you have published, once you are going for experimentation, once you are getting everything, then it is called a granting. And patent grant is called a patent. Okay. So let me tell you why I don't trust. Yeah, you can do that, everybody. But I will be telling you tomorrow that why India is getting hub of predatory journals. Tomorrow I will be telling you. Okay, I am an Indian, everybody, and I'm working in Vietnam from last 3.5 years. Even I say Mera Bharat Mahan, but it doesn't say that Mera Bharat Mahan is called like a Mera Bharat Mahan for us. But actually, Indian scenario of patents is getting a very worst impression in the outer world. Very worst. Okay, so let me tell you, patent granting is different thing. Okay, and even let me tell you, some attorneys, I'm saying openly, some patent attorneys are even telling that, even have seen some of the people that are saying that, okay, sir, give us 15,000, let's get this patent published, sir, give us 50,000, we will go for patent granting or other things. This is all fake. This is all fake. If you really want to have an IPR, you have to hone your skills. You have to be very creative out of that. Okay, a patent publication is not an ordinary thing. Patent granting is a big thing. Okay, now why I don't prefer Indian patent? Because let me tell you, in Indian patents there is a lot of politics, and absolutely there is lots of corruption going on in order to pay the bribes and other things. But I will not go on much over there. But in terms of US patent, there is nothing over there. Everything is taken care of, and there is nothing called the patent published. Even if you have a patent granting, after 2 or 3 years, you will getting that, okay, sir, my patent is granted, or whether the patent is not granted. And they have to follow 5 channels. Okay, I will be telling you, if you want, if you can write over here, if you want some patent information, I can give you tomorrow. Okay, that can be on IPR. But I can request Dr. Deepak that if they can plan some other lecture on patent granting or IPR, I will be happy.
Sure,
It will be okay. Sure.
Sir, we can have another lecture on IPR.
Yes, sir. I'll note it down.
It will be on copyright, trademarks, and even 2 days.
Yes, copyright, trademarks, and IPR.
Copyright, trademarks, and because people even people confuse even trademarks also. I'm actually even I'm an IPR professional. I even have done my IPR from Indian Law Institute, so I know the myths of patent, trademark, and copyrights. I will be improving that things, main things. Okay, so I think everybody. So please let me tell you again. Please silence, please. Silence, please. Yeah, thank you. So let me tell you again, everybody, before I start this lecture. So there is a difference between a patent grant and a patent publish. Patent publication is like a PhD pursuing. So PhD pursuing is not a degree. PhD pursuing is just your task. Don't write it on a resume. You will be becoming negative. Okay, don't write PhD pursuing in your thing. If you want to say verbal, you can say that, sir, I'm pursuing my PhD over here. But PhD pursuing is not a degree. If you got a PhD after your Viva, you get your provisional certificate. That is called your PhD, which means you completed your PhD, you completed your Viva, you completed your defense. Similarly, patent publication is just called the first stage clarity. It doesn't even mean that the patent will be considered for second stage for experimentation. Okay, once it is done, it is granted. That is called a patent. Okay, so there is a difference. So if your colleague is claiming that he is publishing the patents like anything, okay, you can tell him it is not granted. So please give a break to us. Okay, you are befooling us. Okay, so now this is important for the PhD scholars only and for the PhD guides. And you can see this is my information for all of you. This is my, you can say, my experience. Hidden information for PhD and how to handle your guide and how to start PhD, preparing yourself. Okay, very important. So the first thing is, first, you can say, never confuse education with intelligence, that you can have a PhD and you can still be an idiot. Yeah, I'm saying openly. I have seen lots of people who have done their PhDs in different areas, but they can't even configure a cloud. Yeah, It's affect everybody, because most of the PhDs that we are producing is only on the simulations. Even there are some PhDs who have done their who claim that they have done their PhD in signal processing, but in the real time they can't even know what exactly how to measure the signals, how to improve the SNRs, how they can actually work with 5G antennas. I have seen this type of things. So don't confuse a PhD degree that you are intelligent. If you are a PhD, still you can be an idiot because you don't have the practical exposures. Because you will agree with me with the chat box that most of the PhDs that India is producing right now, or maybe whole of the world that is producing, that is basically on the test beds and only on the simulations. Most of that. Okay, just producing a protocol on just coding it on simulator and testing it with existing things. It is not a PhD. It is just a testing. Okay, PhD is somewhat different when you solve a particular problem. That's a pure PhD. So the first 15 tips is find a coffee mug, everybody. Relax first of all. Okay. Second thing, get your desk and chair and figure out how you are going to sit. Sit in a proper posture. That is the biggest mistake that we make, and that's why we find a body problems. If you are not good, healthy, and you are not having a proper postures of sitting, you are going to get a problem in your body, because PhD demands many things. And even it creates a stressful environment. I'm saying openly, it creates a stressful environment for you. Do the paperwork first, important. What you are doing to do, document it. And let me tell you, I'm saying again openly, I think many people will again say that, sir, maybe it's you are proclaiming yourself as a genius, but that's affect everybody. I again swear to God, swear to my parents that it's affect. Many people ask me that, sir, how much time have you taken to write your PhD thesis? We have taken 2 months, we have taken 3 months, we have taken 4 months. Some people even taken 8 months. I have just taken, I'm saying openly, with the swear to God like this and swear to my parents, I have just taken 16 days, 16 days to complete my thesis. And when I submitted to my guide, I just got 2 revisions. That's all. And on 23rd or 24th day, I got my printing, and within 1 month, I have submitted my thesis. And once I got the thesis revisions after 3 months, I just got 3 reviews, 3 revisions, just 3 revisions. And after that, I have submitted that revisions in just 4 days. And maybe after 1 month, I got my viva. So in just 4 months, I completed my PhD once I completed my thesis. The fastest, I can say, one of the fastest. So have access to your university building, have access to your library, be computationally ready. Please take your computers very seriously. And please, one important thing that the people don't listen, have a particular backup of your data. Okay. And please put a password lock onto your folders. Very important. And please have proper supplies. Please have a printer. Please have your papers. And please have a proper stationery. Please have different types of pens. Black pen, green pen, red pen, blue pen, and the most important, you can use a brown pen. So have different office supplies, stationery. And even I will tell you one YouTube channel tomorrow that you can see that there is a Japanese channel called Jet Pens, because I'm a fan of that channel. And you will see that even they have made a video that what stationery a PhD student should have. Yes, stationery is important, very important. Nobody will tell you these things. So the most important thing is respect your secretary of the guide, and even your guide also. Guide is a god at that time. Yes, guide is a god at that time, but I don't say that because I openly say, sometimes even I've told my guide that, sir, you are a devil. I said, if I'm not a devil, I'm not doing my job correctly. Yes, he said me openly. If I'm not a devil, I'm not doing my job correctly. So the most important thing is ask him the questions only to improve yourself, not to ask him a question that, okay, how to do it. He will kill you. Never ask a guide how to do this. Just take the guide as a mentorship. That, sir, I'm stuck in this problem. Can you verify these things? But mostly go to the guide to verify the things and to consult that whether I'm on the right track or not. How is your question? Okay, where and why you can ask with your guide. But if you ask how, you are killed. I'm saying you're killed. Register with many courses. Even today, I'm doing lots of courses on Coursera, and even I listen to webinars. So please follow some courses. I will be telling you what courses you can do if you are doing some PhD in cloud computing or sensors or even some management, how you can improve with your courses. And download the papers. I will be telling you the tools tomorrow. Start with a literature review. I have already told you, start with the literature, and I will be telling you how to read the papers after this presentation. And please check the previous thesis. How to download the thesis, I will be telling you tomorrow. How to take the thesis, and please, everybody, please keep a close eye, even in your literature, at the thesis also. Nobody will tell you this thing. Even in my literature review, even if you see my thesis, you can even see my thesis on ResearchGate. The thesis is open. So you can see that out of my 100 references, maybe 16 or 17 were the thesis that I cited. So thesis is even called a good literature review because in the thesis, they also have the good literature. You will even understand how to present a good literature review. So if you read a thesis, you get a good literature that how to present a literature review. Now, let me tell you, this is a secret which I'm disposing right now. If you really want to understand how to present a literature review, this is a closed gap that nobody will tell you how to write a literature review. See the thesis, because in thesis, you have the related works or the related literature review chapter. So in that chapter, the person has given a detailed parameter that how they have presented the existing works. So that existing works will tell you that how to actually read the paper. I will be telling you that skill after this presentation. And after that, create a research plan properly, that what is the time will you do this much objective, this much thing, everything. So have a sprint. So that's why we will say that please have a knowledge of a Scrum based methodology. If you follow Scrum based methodology, again, you are not doing a software, but you are not even doing less than a software. Suppose you want to make a software, you use Scrum today. So similarly, you are doing a thesis today. It's like a Scrum. So Scrum is the best methodology, or I can say the best honing skill in order to do your PhD. So follow Scrum. Meet your professor regularly, meet with your existing colleagues, have a connections with Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, other things. I will be also telling you some channels also, and be social, very important. Now, let me tell you what are the types of PhD guides. And I'm saying openly, so those people who are the PhD guides, listen to me very carefully and classify yourself what type of guide you are. Okay, so don't mind of my knowledge, but this is important. So the first type of guide is very aggressive, very aggressive. He do he say that he knows everything and he crush all your ideas and he always tell you that, okay, this is your answer. This is it. You don't know anything. This is aggressive guide. So I will be sharing this presentation with you. So how to handle that guide, you can answer your opinions. Type 2, always getting you under the complaints. Okay. You are unlucky student in your career if you have a complainer guide. Always he is complaining. No, your work is not satisfactory. No, the paper is not good. Please change it. I'm not happy. Like these type of things. Type 3 guide, silent and unresponsive claim. They are always silent. Do your work. Just tell me, come to me when something is ready. They are just the guides with just a name, silent guides. Type 4, super agreeable, friendly. This is where I put myself into type 4. I'm friendly. I think that my student is my responsibility. And I came to some instances that guides even demand lots of gifts and they don't even see the financial promotion, financial position of the student. So that also happens because we always see lots of cartoons of the guides and the students, like all this is happening. So the first important thing that you are lucky that if you're into the super agreeable friendly. And the type is called the wet blanket negative. And that is where you can say you can even down your morale. You can say, so that is where you can say you have to improve your situation. So that is what the type 5 guides there. Type 6, know-it-all expert. He boasts that he knows everything, but internally when you come to the problem, he knows nothing. So type know-it-all expert. Type 7, indecisive. Always making something frustrating to the students and always hesitating to make the decision. He can even delay your work also. So type 8, extremely hands-off and super busy. And let me tell you for type 8, please be careful. Let me tell you, if those who are the PhD students or those who are listening to me, if you're starting a PhD, never take a person who is into admin positions, like whether a person is on a director position or whether the person is on a dean academics, like all these people are very busy people. So if you're taking them as a guide, they are very much busy with the admin works, and admin works means that they have to be regular in touch with the management of the institute, and they will be super busy. They will have no time for you for the hands-on. So this is what I would like to share with all of you with the guides. And now let me come towards one of the best presentations that I have made for all of you. Now, this is what I'm saying that tomorrow I will be telling you how to make a paper, but today I'm going to tell you how to make your papers better. Now, we all are writing some papers, but the most important thing is, the question is we have to understand that how we can make the papers better. Okay, now let us understand this thing. And this will be the last presentation for today. And after that, tomorrow, I will be coming towards grant, scientific research granting. And if you give the feedback to Dr. Deepak that, sir, we want some information of patents. So Dr. Deepak, you can please inform me by tomorrow morning or today after 1 hour after this presentation. If you get a good suggestion for getting the patents, I can discuss something on the patents tomorrow.
Sure, sir. It will be helpful for all.
Depending on the feedback by the people, so you can take the feedback from the people today only.
Yes, sir. I'll take feedback from my colleagues.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, this will be the last presentation for today. After that, we take the day 1 off. Okay. I hope this much is enough for today.
Yes,
Now,
sir,
how
more
to
than
make
enough,
better?
sir.
Yeah. So how to make the better papers? Now, let me tell you, I'm just going to give this presentation to all of you again, because this is a very good presentation that you can all study, but I'm only focusing on 7 simple and actionable suggestions, only 7. Let me tell you, some people are, let me tell you, even if I'm getting the paper right now, and let me tell you, I'm going to only classify the paper on these 7 aspects only, because every reviewer is different. I am the person who actually takes care of 3 things. Okay, so I will be telling you tomorrow how I conduct a peer review. I will be telling you my websites and links of Publons tomorrow. Right now, as per the right now the correct links of Publons, I am at top 250 in Web of Science. Top 250 and among the top 7 in computer science as per Publons in Web of Science. You can check my rank on publons.com anytime today only. So the first thing, don't wait and keep on writing. Don't wait. So let me tell you, don't type anything on Word or anything. So please keep on writing on a paper. Please keep on honing the skills. Please keep on writing. So your first thing is that 90% people take this model. Now let me tell you, you are doing wrong. I will tell you tomorrow how to write your paper. So the first thing is the people have the idea, they keep on doing the research, and then they start the writing. No, it is wrong. It is wrong, everybody. If you have the idea, you are doing, you are taking the papers, but you're not documenting anything, it is wrong. So if you have the idea, start writing the paper from day 1. Now, let me tell you, once I have completed the literature view, everybody, you will be stunned to know that how I managed to put my thesis in 16 days, because I started my thesis even after 8 months of my research. Because introduction was clear to me, my objectives was clear to me. I just have to write my analysis and experimentation. That is what I was doing. That's all. So you can start your writing the paper once you have the idea that what is the idea, and side by side you can start documenting, you can do your research. So writing the paper starts once you have the idea. So that is the model, everybody, that you should follow. So if you do that, okay, sir, first of all, I take the idea, then I crawl the papers, then I do the writing the paper. No, you are on the wrong track. Ladies and gentlemen, you're on the wrong track. So the third and most important is it forces you to be clear. It crystallizes you what we don't understand, and it opens to have reality checks and critique and collaborations. That's why you can be connected with the people and you can ask them that, sir, can I have the code? Sir, what is this? What is that? Even many people give me the question, sir, we have read your paper. Can you tell me this and that? So even I tell them that, okay, once you're over here, so please do like this and that. I'm the person who actually guides the people. So the third thing, writing papers is just a primary mechanism, not just for reporting it. There's just a mechanism, not for reporting. So that's why I use this model. Idea, write the paper, and do your research. Very important. Identify your key idea. What is your idea? And I've already told you, have the domain knowledge, have that skill, have that specialized knowledge, and then start publishing, start writing the ideas. So the most important thing is the idea can be like a virus. So the papers can be far durable. So the most important thing is always have reusable idea. Even if the person has written a latest paper, that could be a very reusable idea for that. You have to have a fantastic idea, write the paper about it, and please develop a good idea to have some more interesting thoughts. And the most important thing for the idea, that the idea should be clear and sharp. And the most important thing is, again, the reusable side as well as writing of the idea into redrafting. That is important. Suppose today a person published the paper that, okay, sir, my routing protocol is better in end-to-end. Can you test this protocol for throughput? Okay, sir, what is your result in throughput? The throughput is less. Okay, now I will take your paper as a base paper. Now I will improve this throughput, and but I will add the creativity. I will make the protocol secure. That is your PhD. So the answer is, PhD is what? You have to prove the other person foolish. You have to prove yourself that you are better than him. That is your PhD. The answer is, why you're doing the literature review? To just understand what is being done. And what you are doing to do that you are better than the existing, that is your PhD. That is what you have the key idea. That is your objective. And to ultimate goal is to prove the other people that they are fool and your idea is better. So many papers contain good ideas, but the idea can be 100% explicit. So the most important thing is have clarity in everything. So the most important thing for the paper is to tell a story. So the story starts from introduction, literature view, proposed things, analysis, the experimentation, results, analysis, conclusion, and last but not the least, we have the abstract. Tomorrow I will be telling you how to write a paper, because many people start with introduction. It is wrong. So the main important thing of this telling a story is, you can see problem. It's an interesting problem, unsolved problem, my idea, how I will solve the idea, and how it is better than the existing approaches. That is your objective. That is your goal, everybody. Have an idea. Now, this is your structure, everybody. I'm just telling the conference paper, not research paper. Today, I'm just telling conference paper. So please understand. Now, let me tell you why the conference paper is very typical, because in conferences, we have limited papers. Like in Springer, only 10 pages. But if you talk of a proper paper, the Springer pages is only 6 pages. But only IEEE gives you double pages of 6 pages. And sometimes ACM gives you 5 or 7 pages. Top conferences like IEEE Censors, they give you 4 pages. So the most important thing is the title. In conference papers, the most important readers, why the papers, what the people read in conference papers is the title. So your title should be fantastic. Stress on title only, because tomorrow I will be telling you other things. The most important part for your conference paper is your title. After that, have the abstract only in 4 sentences, what is being proposed and what is the result. So only thing is, just have a problem definition, what is being proposed, what is your objective such, and after that, just your experimentation. Then write your introduction in 1 pages, the problem, your idea, and after that, you can do some related works, but avoid related works also. Avoid. So just come after introduction, what is your proposed methodology if you have something good. So sometimes writing no literature view, it is better in conference structure. So nail your contributions to the last. Describe the problem, state your contributions in 1 page. You can see how the problem is being described. Take an example. So write your list of contributions. This is your objective, that objective 1, objective 2, objective 3. List your objectives, what you're going to be deliver, and it should be exciting. That's why I always say, please note it down. Before you complete introduction, at the last part of introduction, please write objectives of the paper are. And after that, write organization of paper. Then you can even skip literature, but you please come to related works, or you can say your proposed methodology. Better to come to proposed methodology, because today as a researcher, I'm saying that if you see my papers also, we are avoiding literature review now, because we want to have more dedication towards my proposed work. So I'm skipping literature because I have limited pages. That's the reason, everybody, it is changing now. So state your contributions, what is no, what is yes, you can see that. And the most important thing is the introduction should make the claims, the body should provide the evidence, and you should check the claim with analysis and comparison. That is the best presentation that I'm showing you right now. So note your references, most important. 1 by 1. Related work should be later. If it is, if the problems have already been stated, that you say that, sir, I'm able to complete the paper, but I have 1 extra page, then write related works or literature view. Otherwise, it is better to avoid it. So you can say that related works can be 1 or 2 pages, but if it is there, but otherwise avoid it. So the problem is, what the readers knows nothing about you, and what are the alternative approaches. And I again say, the most important problem that we see in literature review, even it is conference or journal paper, please note it down. After literature review, write in 9 to 10 lines, or maybe 5 to 6 lines if you're putting a conference paper. What are the technical gaps? What are the, you can say, problems that you study in existing works? Tomorrow I will be telling you how to read the paper, because not today. So what are the approaches to read that? To make your work look good, you have to make the others' paper look bad. That is the credit, everybody. That is the main objective today. That is the main objective. That is what we want to discuss today. So warmly acknowledge the people, acknowledge the weaknesses of the people, that what technical gaps you have found, and give the credit. And put your readers first, whether you are able to read your papers or not. So this is your structure, everybody. What your readers will read: your problems, your idea, and your details. That's why I'm saying openly that we are removing the literature review from the paper now in conference paper. So I'm just putting abstract, introduction, my work, experimentation, and results, analysis, and conclusion, future scope, references. So 7 to 10 pages will be enough for me, or maybe 8 pages are enough for me. So it should be impressive, and it should convey the situations, everything. And the most important thing is the introduction should be with the examples, the scope of the study. What are the scopes? What are the problems? Information. And after that, I just come to this thing, listen to your leaders. So this is the objective that I would like to inform all of you. So the experts are good. Non-experts are also very good. So explain what you want to do. And let me tell you, consider your paper as a guinea pig. So what is guinea pig? They are taken as experimentation by various biotechnologies to test the medicine. So take your first paper as a guinea pig, that, okay, sir, can you test me? Can you test this? Sir, can you ask this? Can you read this? Very few of the few people will give you the observations. So this is where I would like to end the lecture today. This is called the main tips and tricks how to can make the paper better. But tomorrow's session will start from how to read the paper, what are the tools, what is the structure of the paper. From tomorrow, we will be studying everything. So I give now next 5 minutes to give your feedback or anything, whatever you want, or any question. Thank you. 5 minutes. Dr. Deepak?
Yes, sir. Hello, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sir, I think a lecture for today is enough for us today.
Yes, sir. It's more than enough. It's very much.
Yeah, please take the feedback if there is anything from the authors. If they tell you that, okay, sir, we want some information on patent, maybe I will take it tomorrow or maybe day after.
Yes, sir. I will take, and it can be included tomorrow or day after tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. So I got a question: how to manage time while doing PhD? Because SCA paper takes time to review. So let me tell you, don't stop with your paper and keep on doing the papers, because the most important thing, you have a good idea, good novelty, the paper will revision only. Please stop this voice, please, Siddharth sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Please, take a look into this, please. Mute the participants. Yeah. So if there is any other, I hope everybody has enjoyed today.
So I have one question.
Yeah, sure.
So as a teacher and as a